Welcome to Wilson's channel.
Everyone, this is the Chat with Wilson podcast, aka little special segment episode where this is episode 16. Normally, I would either speak to myself, basically, or to chat about whatever topics. Particularly today is different because it's a special episode where my friends will be interviewing me instead, since I would also do one-on-one interviews. Cherry is going to be above me, Saber's right next to me, and then Mochi's adjacent. So, guys, say hi and please give brief introductions. Let's start with Cherry.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Cherry, or you could call me Ashley. I have been friends with Wilson for about 3 to 4 years now, and Wilson was the one that kind of got me into raving, so I am fortunate to be a part of this podcast today. And then Mochi.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Lil Mochi. You can call me Lil Mochi or Mochi. I met Wilson once at a rave through a mutual, and that was it. So now we're here, which is kind of crazy. Like, just to think about that, I'm on his podcast. It's just crazy that I'm here.
Yeah, super
Saber.
exciting. Saber, go for it.
Alright, hi guys. My name's Saber. I was Wilson's rave a couple times,
No.
You can't even keep a straight face while saying that. Come on now.
I was just because everyone was laughing. It's not even my fault. Like everyone's like, I have two people like pogging because of like that. It's true, Wilson. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've been friends with Wilson for like a year and a half. So yeah, a year and a half. And he's also, we always go raving together. He's always next to me somehow. I don't know why, but
Okay, there's a correlation here. You guys all mentioned like raving, and then there's obviously streaming. So, that's how we keep in touch. And make memories. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for the brief introduction. So, for this episode, as mentioned, we do have a special command exclamation guest with an S because there are multiple this time around. So there's some Twitch links right there. As of now, Mochi is probably the one that's streaming the most. Although Saber will stream in the future, and Cherry's just getting back into it. So please do drop them follows, and maybe you guys could chat it up with them whenever they decide to hop on. And then we also have exclamation. Let me see, what was it? Schedule. Exclamation schedule is just a direct link to the Canva page that I made, which will show you guys just like a little image of what to expect this week. I have a podcast episode today, and then one on Wednesday, and then another on Thursday. However, we're going back to the original format, the one-on-one podcast interviews on Wednesday and Thursday featuring Koi Boy, and then the day after, the Brown Bullet. All right. So this is this podcast episode. We'll just get started. This will be posted on YouTube, and there is a live chat. So thanks for being here, everyone. Alerts are offline. Okay, how we're gonna get started. So I asked my friends here to basically come up with questions to ask me. The reason why is because I notice I've been doing a lot of the interviews, like conducting these, and I've been getting to know people for the most part. But I realized that a lot of people also want to try to get to know me more, maybe on like a personal level and everything. The difference is that these are friends that I've seen and talked to from time to time, so they might know like a significant amount about me already. Obviously different because I met you guys during different times. And yeah. So without further ado, I just think we'll talk it out and see how you guys want to do this, because technically you guys are going to be the hosts, all right? Just pretend you guys came up with this idea and you guys are interviewing me in however way you want. So you guys could talk among yourselves and fill me in the loop too.
right.
Saber, do you want to start off with the first question? Without further ado.
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Before you ask the first question, can the three of you guys talk about how much time you put into like come up with these questions and what the thought process was?
Since Saber's gonna ask the first question, why don't we start off with Saber? How long did it take you to come up with questions?
Um, 20 minutes. It took me 20 minutes.
Damn.
I speedrun this. I I did it probably 2 hours ago.
Oh damn. Okay.
Same. Same. I did it 2 hours ago, and it didn't take me that long. It's just like curious questions I had.
All right,
Yeah.
Oh
valid.
no. Since I feel like I know Wilson pretty well, it like took me a while, probably like a good 30 minutes, like yesterday, like trying to figure out what I wanted to ask him.
Oh, okay. So you probably had to put a little more thought because you already knew a lot of the answers, kind of.
Pretty much so, but also at the same time, I felt like I needed to ask like like shallow questions as well, just for the people that like don't necessarily know you as well as either me, Mochi, or Saber do. So I felt like it was also nice to kind of like throw in some like surface level questions before I get to the what I call the meaty part
Okay,
of
yeah,
this.
yeah. I'll let you guys decide how to go on about it. But the overall goal is just for us to have fun and just to like have a good time talking to each other. I definitely
Mhm.
want all of you guys to be able to share some time to like host this. So without further ado, go for it by all means.
All right. This is Wilson's takeover stream. We're taking over. We have control all of this right here. This is He's not controlling any of this right now. This is our time. This is our time to shine. Now you are in the hot seat today, Wilson.
Welcome
It is
to
very
Wilson's
hot in
hot
my
seat.
room. It is actually very hot in my room. So
Can I check?
feeling it.
Oh.
If you want to come to the bay for the first time, yeah.
No, no, I'll pass. I'll pass.
Okay.
Very scared.
Welcome to Wilson's hot seat.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. Let's start it off with. Let's see what I got right here. What do you have, Wilson? Do you have any like favorites or least favorite things that you like do when you stream? Like, is there anything that you like, dislike?
Oh, things that I like and dislike when I stream, like about
Yeah,
streaming or just whatever I stream.
just in general, and top, any in general streaming.
Okay, okay. Opening with streaming question. For me, I think you guys all know that I just love connecting with people and just talking to people. So that's the most important thing to me, and that's what keeps me going every day. So it's making friends and keeping these like close connections. Just being able to like go home and chill is one thing, but streaming is just pretty relaxing for me at times. I'm not gonna say all the time because realistically, you drain your energy when you're like talking and stuff. So maybe that's like the flip side of it, just being tired out. Things that I dislike, since the most part that I like is people. I'd say the opposite end is probably either two things. It's one is trolls or just the bad things that happen. I've talked about it before that there have been negative things that have happened to me personally, and people with negative intentions. So dealing with people like that. And then secondly, it really depends on like my mindset going to streaming, because before I wanted to, not only did I want to make friends, I wanted to focus on like growing and stuff. So I would be really focused on like the metrics, which would really get to me and a lot of my friends beforehand. So that's like a negative. But for now, I'm just happy where I'm at, and I'm just like I'm grateful. So talking to
Gotcha.
people and playing games is just like the chillest thing to me.
I see. I see. Is it like have your like mindsets changed throughout? Like you're like you have like different segments of like your streaming career.
Yeah, absolutely. I had different stages. Like I felt like a newborn being on Twitch when I first started. I had no idea what a raid was or like what all these like badges and stuff meant, things like that, or like subs. I didn't really understand or process like what everything meant when I started. I was just like streaming for fun and I know that people are watching me. And then as I went on and learned more about it, I had different goals and different mindsets like you asked, which which was to grow and really put myself out there, and then it switched over to more so getting to know people and like making genuine connections.
You see. Go ahead,
Yeah.
I don't.
Cherry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask. So, since you've been on Twitch for maybe a little bit longer than some of the rest of us,
Mhm.
like when did you realize you wanted to take content creating more seriously? Because you initially started like just streaming for fun and just like getting to know people and stuff, but then you started to like grow a little bit, work on your YouTube, TikToks, etc. So like when did you realize content creating was something you wanted to take a little bit more seriously?
I had the mindset of taking it seriously when I started on YouTube. So this was even before going on Twitch streaming and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was with intent to like grow like subscribers and hope to like get monetized on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So that path was started in like I think 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I converted to Twitch and started doing YouTube less like on the side, Twitch was more so gearing towards growth and putting my name out there, more so than like monetary, like for monetary reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's got to the point where I've been constantly pushing out random type of content, but more so for the joy of it and to experiment and just to again put my name out there, but not so for financial gain. So I
Mm-hmm.
lost that like the drive for that financial aspect of it because I realized that I would have to go towards like a different direction, and I feel like it wouldn't make me as happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing about streaming, people don't realize that you have to either be like a really really big and top creator, getting like all these like subscriptions and followings and stuff, but you also have to hop on different platforms to try to build yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like different avenues to gear yourself towards, not just streaming. So I kind of dabbled into so many different things with different niches, and now I'm just set on doing it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my mindset.
Okay. And then I know for you, you've had like different phases of like content creating where you're like testing the waters and seeing what worked out, whether it be with like reaction videos like in regards to like SB19 or like even
Mm.
hosting tournaments and like all those other things. So was there like a particular phase of like that content creating like journey that you really liked in particular? Like was there one that you like in like kind of miss the most but also kind of don't miss at the same time?
Oh yeah. And speaking of that, Isaac, thank you for being here. By the way, yeah, Cherry's here. Everyone's on this podcast right now. That's a great question because again, I was juggling with so many different things. By the way, SB19 is a specific Filipino pop group. For those who don't know, I used to react to a lot of their videos, more so than K-pop or anything else. But then when it comes to streaming, the content that I miss the most, I would say, is honestly just chilling and kicking it with people in Discord calls or just having podcasts, which is why I brought this back and rebranded it. I really
Mm-hmm.
love the part where I get to know my friends more and like this conversation with you guys, for example. This is what I like because I get to talk to you kind of face to face, and it's rather so we get to learn more about each other, and you would probably like talk about things we wouldn't talk about if it's just like solo streaming,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's that. The tournaments, those type of events are special to me because I'm able to draw a lot of different people together, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like in bulk. However, that's more of like a stressful environment because instead of having like a relaxed conversation, you're kind of set on a schedule and you have your own production standards to like fit. So there's like a lot to sacrifice when planning those type of things. Although I miss parts of it because once you finish it, you realize how satisfying it is, and you just love to know everyone's out like their input on the event, and just to know
Mm-hmm.
how happy they are. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the good old tourney days was special, but more so the conversations. That's like the important part.
Mm-hmm. Mm, Moji, I will pass you the mic. Do you have any
Okay.
questions you'd like to ask Wilson?
But outside of streaming, I was kind of curious, how would you describe your life besides raving, besides streaming? Like, what do you do? What are your hobbies? If I mean that's okay if that's so those are the things that you focus your time on, but I was just kind of curious.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. An outside question outside of streaming. So let me give you a day to day, and just so you could kind of understand. So for me, I've been really mixed into social media since I started. So if
Mm-hmm.
you guys are like following me on Instagram, for example, you probably would know everything that I do, like keeping
Mm-hmm.
it real. So Monday, let's say Monday through Fridays, right? My day to day is waking up super early, go to work. Everyone sees what I eat. So
Cereal
there's that.
boys, the fucking cereal every single day.
Always
He
the
Yeah,
never
cereal.
changes the cereal. He sticks to the same
bro.
exact
I
natural
know.
fruit colored red 40, freaking yellow 6, freaking green 99, like all the same food. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
But
eat a
he
lot
does
of.
change up his cereal sometimes. Just saying, he changes it up sometimes.
It used to be the nut Cheerios for
Mm-hmm.
quite some time, and then I got tired of it, so I switched it to Tricks. Yeah. So I actually went back to work in October, in person at least, because I used to work remotely completely for
Mm-hmm.
3 years. So through the whole time during COVID and like streaming DGen hours, I swear I was streaming like 12-hour nights and everything. I don't do that anymore. I wake up early, I go to work, you see my breakfast, you see my lunch. After work,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately go to the gym. So you would always see either me and maybe with two from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go home and I kind of like brainstorm content ideas because I'm juggling with TikTok at the moment as well, where I do like rave content for one channel, and then the second one is for stream stuff, like more like Valorant clips, to be honest, nowadays. So I do that, and it's the time for me to like just chill, relax, and watch videos as I like, because I'm like burnt out already from the gym and work, right? So I just like
Mm-hmm.
shower and everything. And then if I have streams planned, I would go through it, such as these podcasts, or I would stream on the spot. But then I would have to
Mm.
like do it after I eat, or maybe like eat while I stream. So just think of that Monday through Friday is basically this exact same thing. Uh, the only difference is Friday and Saturday. Those are usually when I plan events and things to look forward to, where I get to touch grass and have like a social life more so than just Twitch. So then Friday nights, let's say we would go to an event. If not, then it might be a stream. Um same for Saturdays. Usually there are events on Saturdays, so throughout the day it's kind of like just chilling at home. I would even try to squeeze in a stream here or there, like beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
or just like sleep in. Other hobbies I would do is like watch TV shows or basketball, like sports.
Mm-hmm.
I also do watch like a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos. Um, and then Sunday is like dead day to me. What I mean by that is Sundays are like the recovery days where I try to um eat good, because after Friday and Saturday nights of like just drinking and stuff, it's horrendous. The Sunday's recovery day, and it's also a day to just chill or to go out with people if they hit me up or something. But I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie, that's my schedule. The only thing about my schedule that I feel like I'm lacking is actually having wholesome activities. Like going outside. Like
So, so you do admit that you don't do enough wholesome activities.
I honestly feel like my lifestyle is so repetitive right now that I'm trying to get out of the loop of it,
No,
or at least do
never.
something different. But it's pretty hard. Like it's honestly really draining but fun. But I don't really like see, aside from raves, of course, I don't see many different people like get lunches and stuff with them. You know what I mean? I want to at
Mhm.
least do that because I used to do that, or just like try new food places, or I don't know, tea places or I don't know, parks, fun stuff, museums.
Parks?
When's the
You
last
go
time I've been to
kiting?
a museum or some shit?
Wilson at a museum? That's crazy.
Nah,
Let's talk about your Friday, Saturdays, is your rave days. You've not broken a streak since January.
Oh no, it's
No,
before
even
that.
earlier than that.
Oh,
He's
December.
actually
No,
no November.
no, August.
Not even November.
No, I'm talking about New Year. New Year
Oh.
does. New
Yeah,
Year's
it was
different.
August.
New Year's is different, but you have not broken a streak since New Year.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
this
I-
whole year so far, I've been to an event every single week. But then if you're going back to last year, since August.
And then on Sundays, you go get
Hot pot.
hot pot every single time.
Yeah, but
Almost-
Sundays
almost
is like I'm like the most tired during that time. Out of the whole week, Sunday lunches is like I'm like drained for some reason. After eating, I just want to like sleep, but then I try to push myself to do more.
Yeah,
So-
like whenever you see Wilson on Sundays, like if he doesn't eat hot pot or like if he doesn't have a recovery meal,
Yeah.
like he is dead. Like he doesn't talk much. He's just like sits there.
Like that's when everything finally processes. So that's just me. But then yeah, that's a good question. I was trying to be as thorough as possible, but I feel like I post everything so you guys have a good idea if you like follow my stories and stuff.
Yeah. So
Wait for a
what's so going off of
everybody.
what you said by wholesome activities,
Yeah.
like what are the top 3 wholesome activities you always wanted to do outside of the loop?
I think what I mean by that is like I've had the mindset where I want to like be able to meet people and to like connect with them, right? So if
Mhm.
it's not from Twitch or not raving, it's kind of hard to or I feel like I don't put myself out there in positions where I could actually like do other things with people. The
Mhm.
only time I do that is with like the friends that I'm already close with and stuff. But then those are also the friends I go to events with. right?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like when you meet people at raves, you connect with them for events, but they become
Mhm.
like your rave friends only. I'm trying to expand that at least if that's how
True.
I'm meeting people.
True.
So,
So like
wholesome activities like go to a park, go to whatever. I mentioned museum, it's random. Movies, try out
but
new
movies you
restaurants.
don't talk.
Well, it's not like a date thing. It's just to hang out with people. Like,
You'd be like, "Hey, you're kind of cool. You want to be friends?"
yeah.
At the
what?
park?
No,
At the
no, at
park?
the movies. At the movies.
No.
You're just like,
Can you guys imagine Wilson just like at the park, just like going up to like random groups at the park, no matter who it is, just being like, "Hey, y'all are cool. Want to eat together?" Like,
Okay, that is kind of tough. It's easier to befriend people like at events or even on Twitch compared to that, unless you're super extroverted.
that's you.
But I hope that gives you like a good perspective of what I mean when it comes to wholesome activities, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my life is such in a loop right now to the point where, like, we live near big cities, right? In the Bay Area. I'm barely in those other cities unless it's for a specific event. I'm not trying new like places that are like hotspots where like Yelp elites would be at. I'm just either at my
True.
home or at the freaking club or like hot pot
or at
Okay.
Seaside.
or
I feel
gym,
like-
yeah.
I feel like there's like 3 or 4 different places that Wilson is always at. It's work, outside of the house. It's work, gym,
At a club.
rave.
Yeah, yeah.
If I don't see you at a club or at a gym or at your house, I'm calling you and saying, "Where are you?"
For real. See, like
For
I
real,
need
really.
it's the people I hang out with. They're such bad influences. I'm just
Huh?
kidding.
Oh
I'm
no,
kidding.
no, you're the worst influence. You tried.
Mochi, do you hear this? Mochi, he's
Dude.
calling us bad influences.
We met him once. I don't know anything about Wilson.
Damn,
Be
this
real.
is the perspective you're getting.
Yo,
Wilson.
yo,
You're getting
he-
us.
that's crazy. He only met Mochi once and is already calling Mochi a bad influence.
Okay,
That's
fine.
crazy.
Let me rephrase this. Never mind. maybe I'm the bad influence where I'm influencing all of these guys to do these things, right? But there's no one to influence me to do wholesome good things.
Because you initiate bad things, which when you initiate bad things,
But why does my
bad things
bad
come back?
Why do my bad things triumph over your potential good?
Okay,
Because bad equals bad and good equals good, Wilson.
okay, can I bring something up real quick? I have actually asked him if he had wanted to go to a picnic or if he wanted to go out and hang out with some of my other friends that I know. And he's like, yeah, just schedule it and then let me know. And then,
No, you're good. You're good.
Mochi, we're not fighting.
I know.
But I've asked him, like, do you want to come? And then he's like, just schedule it and let me know. And then it's like sometimes I ask him and he's like, oh, I have an event.
Okay, but I do go to like hangouts because one thing
You do.
to point out is that whenever people actually invite me to something, I feel so much appreciation that I do want to like commit to it. Because then in my head, sometimes I think like, oh shit, this person's going out of their way to invite me, and I barely ever hang out with this person, so it kind of like means a lot. It's more significant. So I feel like if I say no, it might be like a one and done type of thing. Because you know the thing where if you get invited and you constantly say no, it gets to the point where they draw the line and they say, okay, it's probably gonna be your turn to try to hit me up if you actually want to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my mindset.
Okay, we get that.
I have a celebrity question.
Oh,
So someone that just texted me, it's one of your good old friends. His name is Chill.
Chill. Fuck.
Yeah,
What's
he
up,
has
guys?
two
By the way,
questions for you. He has two questions for you.
I'm not ABB.
This is not my question.
Don't even say that.
So he wanted to know. He said, "Ask Wilson. So when did you start becoming an ABB?"
Never.
Now you're lying to your. Now you're lying.
How?
And then he also wanted to say, when did you start wearing ripped jeans?
Oh. So I bought.
jeans.
So when I went to chill to the mall little outlet thing, I asked him where he gets his ripped jeans because we were gonna go to a club because I didn't really go to clubs like that, right? So I didn't know how to dress. So they're just like, you could just get some ripped jeans, and then I'm like, okay, since Chill knows where it is, I went with him, and then we got ripped jeans together. So that was my first
Matching ripped
pair.
jeans.
And when was that?
So he's the influence. That was I think
That
that was
was,
last February.
Oh,
Really?
Should
No,
be
we
like
had to go somewhere. We went to the club.
that's what I was trying to. That's what I said. Was it Heat or something?
It had to be Heat because you didn't have clothes, and then
Yeah. It was
and
during
then
that
so
time.
did Steve.
See, they brought me to clubs and they got me ripped jeans. Like this guy's the actual influence.
He also, the last question for Chill, he said, when did you start being such a gaslighter?
When did I meet Chill? Yeah, that's when.
Oh,
Wait,
Celebrity questions.
Wait, I
wanna
could
say
click.
that
I
these are
could
my
click on his
questions.
name. It says August 21st, 2021.
Wow, that's when he started it.
damn. So August 21st, 2021 was when you started being a gaslighter.
No, that's when I
And
met
when
a
you met-
gaslighter.
That's when you
So
met a
that's
gaslighter that became into a gaslighter.
one of the first.
One of the first. He should have
So-
like the first little emo things. Like, he should have a founders.
Founders badge for gaslighting.
Oh my gosh. So Chill was basically the gaslighter, and then you got influenced by a gaslighter and became a gaslighter yourself.
I plead the fifth.
Next question.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I wanted to know is like a little more deeper question. Like, how do you know, like for yourself, when you trust someone? Like,
Ooh.
There's like different levels of friendships and like relationships. So when it comes to trust, I think in a general perspective, I'm really open to like trusting people. I feel like I'd like to think that a majority of the people I meet are, like good people. They have good intentions and stuff. So it's to the point where people in the past, like close friends of mine, have felt like I was too open and too trusting. You know what I mean? Where
Mm.
But then I had to remind them that like although I have that personality of being open to everyone, it doesn't mean I'm naive. I understand like I could read the room, right? That's what I
Mhm.
try to tell them. But when
Mhm.
it comes to trust, I guess you like if we're going into like a deeper and meaningful, like more meaningful context, when it comes to like talking to people and like maybe like trusting people with secrets or like private information, it just comes down to how close we become from like having more and more conversations. I don't know if like I would be the one to usually like initiate these type of conversations, but because I have that personality where I like to get to know people, I feel like
Mhm.
people it allows people to be more open with me, and when I feel that connection, it becomes like vice versa, where I feel like I could tell people certain things. But
Mhm.
it also depends like if you're a good listener or something realistically, right?
Mm.
Because there's people that like to talk more than to listen and to like absorb information, and you just learn over time that there are there's people that you could talk to about certain things. Like for
Mhm.
example, there's some of the bros where you could talk to them about like maybe like events, girls, whatever, right? But it doesn't mean you would talk to them about like family, for example. It just really depends on the person, but generally I'm open.
Mm.
Mhm.
What do you consider like a quality of a very close friend?
To me, I would say my close friends are those, or like a quality would be like great listeners or those who are supportive. Maybe like the love language, those who could give some sort of like reassurance, or those who can make you feel comfortable and protected, like you're a safe space.
Like words of affirmation stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
I would
yeah.
say words of
Mhm.
affirmation. The more I think about this question, the more like specifics I'm like thinking of when it comes to different people, because different people show certain qualities of being like a close friend. Like for example, if I look at Saber, he's very like a protective type of guy. He's goofy and stuff where he makes you feel comfortable. But like deep down he means well. It's kind of like when there's like a serious conversation, he knows when to like tone down the humor type of thing. I feel like every individual has specific qualities that I appreciate, but mostly it comes down to like good communicators, honestly. Good communicators and those who are great listeners. It's just back to that trust question where you just develop that trust to have those qualities like show.
Mm. Mhm. Okay. I'm going to ask you a random relationship question, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, you guys could ask. Go for it. You guys
So
prepared.
then, so for me, the question that I want to ask is just a general relationship question starter of like, how would you describe yourself as a boyfriend? Like, what type of like boyfriend do you think you would be to like anybody that you would consider an SO?
A piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I knew it. I knew it all along. Deep down.
God,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
God damn.
No, 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 no. I feel like
Oh my god.
I feel like
Like,
What's
are you
this?
like? I think like specifically like, are you the type that would like adapt to like what your girlfriend wants or needs, or like are you the type of boyfriend that is gonna be like the leader, or like this is what we got to do, etc. so on. So like it depending on what you want.
okay. So it's kind of hard to say because I was in a relationship. The last relationship I was in was like a few years ago, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I look back to where I was at when I was in the relationship now, and I realized a lot of things I would do differently. But because of that like relationship, it was only one relationship, by the way. I've only been in one really long-term one. So I was definitely a mix of like going with the flow and just trying to like find new things to do. I feel like as I expand on this question, it's gonna end with me explaining why the relationship failed. So I'm trying to see like realistically how I would be like, because growth, growth is so important.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I'm talking about like in where you are currently
Yeah.
compared to where you were in the past. So like currently, like what type of boyfriend would you consider yourself? Just for the girls in the chat, just so that they know what charms and features our wonderful Wilson Chang has.
Is Riz. I want to hear the Riz.
Okay, the thing is like I feel like if I had a significant other, I would definitely show all my sides, right? So people from an outside perspective, I've heard many things where people feel like I'm like quiet and shy, or just like I present myself really well. I don't know if it's like in a professional sense or something, but people get that vibe. But I could definitely be like super goofy and stuff and make like horrible puns that people would still laugh at. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys have laughed, just, for example, when I called myself a piece of shit. That's an example to say. So I could be like, okay, but not necessarily self-deprecating, but I can make light of situations to make it funny, So I like to think that I'm more funny than I'm actually am. My communication has always been like pretty good, like honestly. So I could talk. I would be like a great listener. I do want to bring back like the past though, because I feel like I do want to mention this because it would be like a good learning lesson for like anyone, or even for myself to like remember this, that I think back then I got very complacent. So, and I started focusing too much about the future rather than like living in the present. Right? I was thinking so like far-sighted and long term because we were like so deep into the relationship already, where I got comfortable, where like we just grew apart, and it felt like there was no spark or no new things going on because we just like tried so many different like things, food places, all these things, but it was to the point where I think I stopped doing that, and I started like trying to like save money and everything, so it got too like repetitive. But yeah, well, talking about the growth, I think funny, quirky. I guess it really has to depend on the person too, because I feel like I would work well with my significant other if I knew what they were like, instead of Casper right here. So need something to bounce off of.
So for you, like, I think we already kind of touched on this, but just to like specify, your love languages are basically like words of affirmation, quality time type of person, huh?
No, my words of affirmation is probably like lower. I think it's
really?
quality time, physical touch, and then it's like a mix of acts of service, probably acts of service, and then words of affirmation, and then last is gift giving. Actually, gift giving, I feel like the receiving end is low for me, but I would gift more to my significant other. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5.
So, what would you think is the biggest charm of Wilson Chang? Like what do you think is the thing that makes you like the most unique and like the specialty of Wilson Chang?
Well,
for you?
all my boys say it's the hair, so
All the boys do say it's his hair, but I think it's more of his aura he gives off. Like he just like he's vibrating. He's just like
what
vibrant.
like explain his aura, Saber.
yeah,
His
please,
aura?
because that's a
I don't know,
hard
it's just
question.
like you look at Wilson and like this guy's kind of cool, or like this guy's very like vibey and everything. And I think that's why like a lot of people like either go up to him and like are easily comfortable to go through, like go up to and everything. I mean, it's kind of similar to like a little bit like me as well, because like I'm very like, or I'm like when I'm like at like a rave or something, like I'm also like very like vibey and like very like jumpy and everything, and like it's just like Wilson just is like a vibe. So like a lot of people, it's easier for people to come around, and then like just someone easy to talk to. Because he normally brings people in.
Oh, true. True, he does bring people in. He always does. But Mochi, since you've met Wilson once, what do you think for you was like the biggest?
You know what was funny? It was funny because I first met Jetty, and from Jetty, I was like, I don't really know anyone at the rave. Like, there's this huge group that we were part of, and he was like, "Do you know Wilson?" I was like, "I don't know who Wilson is. I don't know who this person is at all." And I think at first when I met Wilson, I was like, I think I said something like, "Oh, so you're the famous Wilson." I just assumed based on like the group's energy, and I don't know, it just felt like Wilson's like the popular one here. Like, I don't know. And he was very approachable, very nice, and it was very easy to talk to. Like, it was just like all good vibes I felt from the group. But that was my first impression, just like famous Wilson raver.
Famous Wilson raver. not even Wilson streamer, Wilson raver.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone there was, I think, also a streamer, so it just felt like, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. So to answer that question, I don't know specifically how I would describe it, but I could explain or describe like my mental like thought process of like how maybe that's like why it is the way it is, or I'm the way. It's I feel like in the past as I've grown, I feel like there's always room for growth, and I believe that I don't want to waste time or like parts of my life. I don't want to like look back at any moment moving forward and to like regret anything. So I want to put myself out there, be approachable, meet different people, and connect with them. But I also want to learn how to be more confident in the regard of don't overwhelm yourself by overthinking of what people would think if it's like in a negative light. Because I feel like I'm very sensitive when it comes to just like my relationship with people. Even if like I'm not the closest to them, like I care a lot about like how they feel, but also how they feel towards me. So I definitely want to give off the energy that I would want from other people. So that's why when there's like events and stuff, I take advantage of like the moment to try to get to know people at least if they seem like somewhat approachable. It's a lot easier when it's through mutual friends. Like when I met Jory and Mochi, for example. And there's like a sense of when it comes to big groups, I love meeting people in big groups, even though it has its like flaws because you can't have one-on-one conversations. But I just remember having the mentality of like, if I were to be included as a single individual into a big group, I would feel super awkward and kind of lonely, right? Just in general. So I'm thinking of like people's like perspectives of that. And so like when Mochi and Jory were introduced to the group, in my head I was like, I know everyone. They don't know like anyone. So, and I see them like sticking to themselves because that's exactly what I would do. So I'm gonna go up to them and at least introduce myself and try to like make them more comfortable. And then slowly they would meet other people who are like more open and inclined to like talk to them first and stuff like that. So just the thought of making people feel included is like special to me. So that's why I do like the things that I do. Whether if it's like a rave or stream and stuff. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's worth.
Random. Was the first time Mochi met Wilson at Slander last year, was it? In August?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, just checking. Just wanted to double check.
Oh.
Saber, Mochi, any
Oh wait,
questions?
Eileen actually has a question. What the? Hi Eileen. Hi
Oh,
Amber.
oh, okay. Eileen asked, "What is a line that you could never see your friends cross?" Hmm.
Never see them cross, or like never want them to cross.
I think
want.
never. Wait, what did you say, Saber?
He's never want. Like I think
Mm.
because or like I guess what can you never see or like want to see your friends cross. You know, I think
Mhm.
that's what it is.
Oh. Oh yeah. By the way, Mika, I have no idea what that challenge is. By the way.
Oh, that's a dance challenge. I don't think you want to do that.
Cross. I just feel like everyone has their own personalities and their level of comfort, right? So I guess I just don't want people to just not be genuine, and I don't want them to maybe take advantage of others. Like I don't think my friends would do that. I feel like all my friends are good people. I just know
Mhm.
that they have like different personalities. But I guess yeah, just the line of doing like bad things, illegal things. It's very general, but I just
Mhm.
can't see it. Like if there's
Yeah.
situational stuff, then what would cause them to be unfriended? Oh,
Yeah, that.
I mean, if they do if they do me wrong or do something really wrong and they don't like try to own up to it,
Mm.
or because I get people don't. There's many instances where people don't get along, and I guess the
Mhm.
only times that I've unfriended had unfriended people or however you say it or the fallout is when people drift away after like a negative situation.
Mm.
But then at that time you have to realize that some people aren't worth chasing even if it's friendships because they just give off that like toxic or just like negative energy. It has
Mhm.
happened before, like especially I remember my early Twitch days where we would have like a set group and then people wouldn't get along. I remember there's people that were like trying to get me to choose sides, which was
Mm.
crazy to me
Mhm.
because like it's kind of like you're both their friends and stuff, right? So fallouts like that, or yeah, that's like the most extreme that I could think of because realistically, you do bad stuff, it's case by case.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. I see all the chats.
Mhm.
Thank you guys. Jarrell, Ben.
So, since being on Twitch and since meeting up with so many people, like, what would you say for you has been like the weirdest or like the craziest type of interaction you've ever had with someone on Twitch? Or someone from Twitch, even. Or even at TwitchCon, wherever.
Mm, I can't think of like any weird ones because even if things are like awkward, I try to make the best of the situations. But then there's
Mm-hmm.
some that I can't control.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like I really like meeting people, right? So when I meet
Mm-hmm.
them online first and then it transitions to in person, it's like it's so cool to me. It's like a huge flex when I'm like, oh, I finally met this person. But there were occasions, there's two in particular that I could think of, where one hold on, let me see which one I should say first. Okay, so I met this person at an event, like not a rave at event, just like a random area, right? So I met
Okay.
this person and we clearly knew each other or knew of each other, although we're not close. This is when I was vlogging because I like to like vlog a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Said what's up to this fellow person, and then what happened? She said hi real quick, but couldn't make like even 10 seconds of the time to like even do the smallest talk or anything, and was just
Oh
kind of like,
no.
I gotta go, like. But then she didn't really go anywhere. She just went over to like a different group and was just like
No.
chilling there. So I was like, okay, so ouch, just like that.
Was this person shy or is just like not?
No, not shy.
Oh, okay.
It was just such an awkward situation.
Okay.
It's I'm just gonna say is that it was at TwitchCon. was at TwitchCon,
Oh.
right? So you meet people at TwitchCon, right? You say what's up. I vlogged and everything. It was kind of like, oh, sorry, my friends are right there. Got to go to them, and then it was just okay. Never talked
Oh,
since
God.
then.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the second moment was also TwitchCon. This one it's like more reasonable and I understand. But in my eyes, it was like, oh, I said what's up to someone. Like I said hi, because it was someone I recognized, and then she immediately. It felt like she kind of prioritized talking to or trying to like talk to like a very popular person. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. So that
Like,
happened, and then like nothing happened after that. It was like we just never talked. Yeah, so it was just
I
very
see.
awkward instances, but I didn't want to overthink anything. I was just like, okay, it's all good.
Hey.
Thing. I want to go back into relationship questions.
Ooh,
Like,
okay.
Yes.
Yes,
What?
Go Saber. Go Saber.
Yeah, we're going.
like, what qualities are important to you in your partner, and like, like, do you know like what your partner, like future partner, should be, or like,
Ooh.
Dang, it's so hard because again, I've only been in one relationship, and I'm thinking back at it. It's like I don't even know if I would. Okay, I probably would date because of the qualities of my ex and everything, because I just want like obviously a good person, right? Someone you could at this age, as I grow older, I feel like I can't pinpoint specific traits because realistically, you have to just have that chemistry and you'll know when you know, like the vibe is gonna be there. Because if I were to sit here and pinpoint like specific things, I feel like a lot of us would align with the same things. However, I wouldn't say I would like personality wise, maybe someone that could also like banter, not like super shy. I don't think I could be with someone who doesn't really like talk much.
or like someone shy, or like you can't have someone that's shy.
Not
You
too
have
shy.
So in the middle,
Or
like
but
not like.
also someone I can name things that I don't want, right?
Oh, okay, let me hear this.
Like controlling. I can't do controlling. Like if someone were to um like if I can't do certain things or like be myself type of thing.
Controlling,
there's
leveling
levels
up
to
your
it.
gaslighting, though, like controlling.
Oh, I can't do like super jealous types either.
Oh, so like possessive.
Yeah, I can't. I have to be like a free bird type of thing. I have to be
So
free.
what does jealous mean? Like just like having male female friendships? Like
Or
what's
like
the
going
level of
out,
jealousy? Yeah.
or like even going out a lot and like not spending enough, like what they think is like not enough time with them, or like what type of jealousy?
Um, let's do this. Let me give you a specific example that I could relate to because I'm a streamer, right? For example,
Okay.
if I had a girlfriend and I had like this podcast with you guys, like I can't have someone be like, "Oh, why are you having girls on your podcast? Why can't you just like talk to the guys or the homies, right?" Or like, "Oh, why are you playing games with this girl?" Or "Why are you rating this girl?" Something like that. Like I know there's levels to it because at the end of the day, it has to you have to give your partner the reassurances that you're not going to like, cheat or anything or do anything bad. I just need someone that's more like level-headed and not as controlling, but also just like understanding of each other. That's what I mean. That's why I relate it back to like the chemistry thing and just being able to connect on that same level, like, and someone mature too, more mature, but
So
also carefree. Like, could be a kindred spirit type of thing. That's cool. Got things
So
going on for herself.
I have two things. I have one not serious thing. You know where you'll find her at? You'll find her at EDC. Secondly, like,
Bruh.
are you a type of person that like falls fast, or like are you like a
That's a good question. Okay.
are you like the fall fast or first love? You know.
Mm.
Let me explain it to you like this before I say it. I feel like if I meet someone interesting, I could be very like attracted and drawn to them, like on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not necessarily to the point where I'll date them. If that makes sense. I feel like I have to go through that process where it's like, okay, this person seems interesting. I'm interested. And then as I get to know them more, then I'll slowly know and I'll slowly start seeing the things that like check the boxes for me, or maybe that doesn't. So to answer your question, I wouldn't say I fall fast, but I'd be interested quick.
Okay, so like they immediately go straight to like as friends immediately.
Yeah. I think because of like my past relationship, I don't think we were friends long. So it was kind of like we jumped into something like pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember she would say that fast too. Even though it was like a long relationship. It's just like we just realized we weren't compatible in the like long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lover boy? Yeah.
Wait, I have a question.
What's up? We could follow
about
up and everything too.
relationships. The question I've been waiting for to ask since you talked about asking you question is based on the number of raves and clubs that you've gone to since, I don't know, August.
Fish.
How many rave bays are we talking about here?
Shit, that was my question.
Yo, that was my question. Yo, oh my god.
I can name. I was kidding.
Yo, Mochi was asking the question that has been on my mind this entire
The entire time. That's the whole point of this podcast.
Yo,
was
that
to
was
ask
me.
this question.
No, okay.
He
I'll
asked
be-
me that question
I'll
on my
be-
podcast.
I'll be super honest. This is like the first time I'm gonna say this publicly, okay? This is gonna be kind of crazy. And I'll describe the situation. Because, again, something about me, like, as I'm growing, I feel like I want to be more confident and I want to be able to, like, speak my mind without feeling like my friends will judge me. Right?
Go for
'Cause-
it.
Yeah, because I know, like, the real ones won't judge me, and this is, like, something I don't want to, like, cringe about and stuff, because, you know, it's growth. So, technically, based on what you said raves and clubs, right? So, every event I've been to.
August, we could say
This
that.
is August. Yo,
No, I
August.
think we should differentiate between
Oh,
August
yeah.
because that changes it. Because if it's newer, now I know it's newer too as well.
But honestly, we need to see like overall from the beginning of his streak, like up till now, how many rave bases he's actually had.
Well,
Because
I want to specify something. I want to, like, or make this clear. If it's a club, I really don't consider it as a rave day. I just consider it as, I don't know, something else. What would you call it?
part-time lovers.
part-time love. Oh, part-time lovers.
Okay,
That's actually good.
part-time lovers. Okay.
Rave base and part-time lovers overall from the
Okay.
beginning
And my
of August.
significant okay. I was about to say my significant other doesn't count because that was like way back then.
Yeah,
Um,
doesn't count.
Can I talk
Wait,
about how many
so-
fumbles too?
No, we don't talk about the L's. We don't talk about the
Okay,
L's.
wait, Mochi, do we want to talk about the L's or do we not want to talk about the L's? Mochi?
What do you talk? Wait, I'm kind of confused. What's the L's?
Like the
fumbles?
losses, like the fumbles.
Like you
how
asked,
many
and then she
like
just
how
says,
many-
Oh no, I've never asked anyone.
Oh
I've never asked a single girl to be
so-
a rave.
Wilson, Someone clip that. That is the reason why you're an ABB here.
Wait, what? No, what? That's honest.
Because she comes to you. She comes to you.
Okay, and see, that's what I mean by fumble. Like, if they come to me and I don't do anything, you guys consider that as a fumble. So that
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, can we actually see, like, can we actually ask about, do we want to ask about the fumbles, Mochi?
wait, but that's not even a flex though. That's like I just
we're not talking about fumbles. I don't think we're talking about
okay.
fumbles.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah, that's
talking about
fine.
fumbles.
Okay, yeah, that's
Whatever
fine
you're
then.
I
comfortable
do
with.
want to talk about that point that you just made though. The reason it's because I have this mindset where it's just like it's so hard to detach or split relationships from like quote unquote rave bays or part-time
Mhm.
lovers because I feel like if I were to, you know, get with someone for that night at an event, I'm so picky or I have that mindset of like, oh, I would want this person as like a partner in a relationship rather than, you know, I can't do rave bays type of thing. It's like when people are
Mhm.
like, oh, they don't do like one night stands and everything. Like I just can't do that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Valid.
even if it's just dancing and just chilling like that, I can't get out of my way to do it. Even if like the vibes are there, I just haven't in the sense of like making that initiative myself.
Mhm.
So yeah, like the thing people say shooters shoot, like I haven't shot.
But other people have shot at you though.
Yeah. It's not a flex. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Okay, but no one has ever asked.
Oh, they did it. Oh.
Wait, whoa.
So
Well-
basically, but like it's just
Oh my God.
basically like people just naturally like go up to him and this it
Like
just
they would
happens.
they would give the signs and do like flirting and stuff.
Okay, so what are some of the biggest signs that you saw at raves for people to like rave bait me or like
Rave at
be
you?
with me?
No.
No.
You and me.
Wait. Before you ask this question,
Uh-huh.
was I at the rave or was I close by?
Oh, you were at one of them, but I can only think of one.
Oh,
But
I know which one you're talking
nothing
about.
happened though. It was
I know.
but like, what are some signs that you see from other people that are like rave bait me like type like signs for you?
oh, like they're trying to.
Yeah, like they're trying to ask you to rave bait them, but they don't like directly ask you. Like, what are some signs that you've seen?
Okay, I didn't get to update you guys about my weekend. So on Friday,
No, wait.
Recent?
No way!
Wait. No, it's like a good indication though.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you
See?
talking-
Like eye contact's one. Like, okay, so on Friday, I was suffocating because we were like near the sound booth in the back. So I left to one of the side entrances and I took
Mhm.
By
Denny.
yourself?
Well, my friend Denny came with me.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
when I got there, Joseph came, so it was me, Denny, and Joseph together.
Okay.
And then this random girl, like she spawned out of nowhere. Like I swear, I don't know where she came from, but there was like hella space in front of us, right? So
Uh-huh.
she came in front of us, had a fan, and she looked at me. And as soon as she looked at me, she ended up getting next to me, like my left side, right? And then she was like fanning me and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Denny, he pushed me a little bit, and he left. I thought he
W.
no, like he
That's
like
something I
pushed.
would
friend.
do.
I thought he was like just telling me he was going to the bathroom, right? But then he fucking disappeared with Joseph. I was like,
Oh
I
my
looked
god,
back
wait,
and there.
remember?
So I'm in a like I'm by myself in like there's like space. There's space, and then she's right next to me. Yeah, we got isolated.
Isolating.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so dumb.
That's
but-
something that you do though. That's something you do. The
Okay.
freaking spin around.
Okay, yeah. But this is gonna be so
Sad.
dumb. But I'm being honest with you guys, okay?
Okay, go for it.
Oh
Yes,
man, I'm gonna regret saying this, but it happened. So she like looked at me and everything. She was like all smiley and stuff, and she was like hella dancing, like vibey. And then because she kept fanning me, I was like, "Thank you." And then I was just like, "Where's your group?" Like I asked her, I was like, "Hey, where's your group?" She comes up to me, like really close to me. she starts talking. She says a lot, and kid you not, it's loud, but I'm sober. I swear I'm sober, and I had no idea what she was saying. I couldn't tell if it was English or Vietnamese, but she was saying so much, and she was kind of like making hand gestures, and I had no idea what she was saying. In my head, I was just thinking, am I tripping or is she speaking Viet? And then at the end of the conversation that she said, I couldn't get anything out of her. Like, I had no idea what she said. So I just nodded, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. So I have no idea what she said to me at all. And then
Oh god.
and then she just kept like fanning and stuff and was just chilling with me. I wait for Joseph and Denny to come back. As soon as they came back, I switched sides with Denny so he could be in between us. And then the girl ended
Oh.
up going back slowly, and then she disappeared.
Oh
You didn't, so you didn't get the Instagram.
No, I didn't even know if she spoke English.
But she did want to. Yes, that's true.
Well, I could tell because Denny was like, "Oh, I left because it seemed like she was interested in you, so I pushed you." And I'm like, "That's not what you do, bro."
No, you do that. You
No.
did that. I know. I've heard the story.
No,
what you did.
no,
I saw
no,
it.
he does.
Here's the thing. Denny was trying to wingman you that night. He was trying to push you to make a connection
No,
over
he
there.
did. He really did.
He was
But
trying
then-
to wingman you.
But then, you know, that is like a specific point that I was mentioning earlier. Like, even though I thought she was kind of attractive, I just can't go out of my way to like dance with her like that. The funny thing is, like, you guys know Allie and Smokes. I've always told them every time I fumble, I tell them. I usually tell them
Ooh.
my fumble stories, right?
Mhm.
And they came down to the deduction that in order to actually have a rave or something, the girl has to do everything, like 100% of the initiation or something.
See.
And
Wait, Mochi, do you hold on a sec. Wait, Mochi, do you agree on this? I don't think the girl does everything.
no, I meant
Oh,
for
no,
me,
no,
for
for
me.
Oh, for you,
him,
oh, for
for
you.
him. For his case, he has to, so he understands like, oh, this is actually happening. She wants
yeah.
me to be like her.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
for
she,
me,
Oh
for
like
me.
yeah,
physically.
okay. Like it needs to be like straightforward for you. Like this
Yeah.
girl has to
Yeah,
like.
like dead
Okay.
ass. Okay, I'm only gonna talk about one more fumble story. Okay,
Okay.
so
Wait,
this
hold
was
on. But we
Oh.
actually before you get started, we actually
Yeah.
never established how many rave bays or part-time lovers you've actually had.
okay. True. 0 rave base.
All right, part-time lovers.
1.
Was I there?
No.
Wait. So after this fumble story, can we hear about this
Yes.
part-time lover?
Yes. I'll get to that.
Okay, perfect. So
The
talk
fu-
about this fumble
The
story.
second fumble story is it was at William Black last year, and I was with Smokes, and I'm pretty sure Viv was there. So this is like I was chilling with Smokes, right?
Mhm.
And then we're just dancing. This girl came out of nowhere, starts dancing in front of us, and then she
Mhm.
starts dancing on me.
Oh.
She starts literally dancing on me, and what I do is like I'm vibing, and I'm like, hey Smokes, right? Because he's taller than me. I'm like, hey Smokes, and then he's like, is she trying to dance on me right now? And then he's like, she is, and I'm like, oh shit, and then I grabbed her, and I talked to her. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't know how to dance. And then she turned around. She's just like, it's okay, and then she walked away.
You just wanted to throw some ass and then just walk away, bro. That's it.
Wait, but quick question. By dancing on you, do you mean she was like standing up and like swaying her hips on you, or like she was
Yeah.
like bent over?
No. She was like in between, yeah.
Like, what do you mean by in between? Like,
Like,
she's
she
kind of
was,
like leaning
like-
over.
Hips.
She's throwing
yeah,
ass.
she was throwing
She's
ass.
throwing ass.
okay,
Okay, no,
but
she's
not
not-
to the extent of like
It's
hands
rave
on your
throwing
knees,
ass.
but like
Yes,
yeah.
Rave throwing ass and hip hop like and fucking like
She's
R&B
like,
throwing
"I'm
ass is
gonna
totally different, you know? Like they ain't no yiking here, you know? He's not fucking like this fucking
I honestly can't imagine Wilson yanking, but anyways.
That would
One
be
day.
crazy.
One day. It's
I'll
gonna
teach him.
happen.
I'll see it. I'll take him
At
to eat. Watch.
EDC.
EDC.
Oh, yeah, wait.
bruh.
At EDC?
EDC, we're gonna make him yike.
EDC, he's yiking. I'm taking a picture of like whoever. I'm just like, I'll be behind the trash can, but it's like, he's literally,
Dude,
He's so stiff.
dude, Saber, can you take a video of yourself like teaching Wilson how to yike?
No, never. No.
I wanna actually wanna see how Wilson yikes because I
That's
remember.
It's like me trying to teach Steve to schmeeze, bro.
Okay, but
That was
Wilson,
the
let's-
fumble story. That was the earlier fumble story. Okay, with that one though, like I wasn't attracted to her though. Like that's another thing I want to
So
mention.
you were attractive to the girl on Friday.
A little bit, not like I don't know. I feel like she's not my type, but then she had good vibes and stuff, so it made up for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that comes to
So
like the chemistry vibes and stuff.
like not your type as in like this, or like not your type.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
in,
like physically.
Oh.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Do you think that in order to actually for you to get a Ray-Bay, she would have to be like you? I'm saying like you probably have to talk to her first, and then like
Yeah.
and then you'd be like that. So like you'd
I have to have a
So-
podcast like to learn about her whole life story within that rave before like getting that approval.
Imagine he brings like 2 freaking microphones to the rave.
No,
and
no.
just-
Can we do that?
I
We're
gotta talk to her and be like, all right, she has a good heart. She has great intentions. I think I'm ready.
He's like, so what kind of guys are you into? You? Oh, okay.
Wait, before what's your rave bay body
What's it
count?
all?
What's your Ray-Bay body count? That's crazy.
Dude, imagine Mochi, you and I bring the mics while like Saber's trying to film it.
It's hella loud. You just gotta go. You gotta go with the beat of the drop too while you're interviewing.
I know.
And you're like, wait, the beat drop. The
Yeah,
beat
drop pause.
Alright, back to the question.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I meant by that.
Okay. Anyways, going on to your part-time lover story. When did this happen? How did this happen?
Okay, actually there was 2, but then one was like very brief.
Okay, even if it was
I just remembered,
brief,
I
it
just
still
remembered.
counts. If it was brief,
Yeah.
then it still counts.
Okay, see, the one it was more recent. It was at one of the peer events. I'm just gonna say that.
Wait, which one?
No, don't. I'm not gonna say specifically.
Wait, just
'Cause it's a
at least tell me
friend.
the month.
It's a friend.
Wait.
Huh?
I know,
Oh,
but which month?
No. You
I don't
can
even
still, you can still know.
It was just recent. It was recent. Okay, but then like the thing is like we are just like all chilling on the floor, and I wasn't even trying to do anything, right? I was
Mhm.
literally vibing with our friends, and then she got hella close and was like dancing on me and stuff, and I'm pretty sure she was hella drunk, right?
Mm.
But then she was with like her close friends, and then I look at her close friends and stuff, and I'm just like, she tried to dance on me? Like I asked them that, and they're like, and then they're like, yes, and I'm like, okay, should I dance with her? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, and then I just.
Dude, the
danced
fact
for
that you
a
have to
little
say that, like, I don't know, like you'd be like, she's like hella throwing ass. Guys, she's throwing ass on me? I'm like,
Do I dance with her?
yeah, she's throwing ass.
Do I dance with her, guys? Wait, what did you do? Did I just like grab her waist? Like, guys, like,
Yeah.
what
So after they confirmed twice, I was like, okay, and then yeah, I just grabbed her waist, and that was it.
Like,
it was not even like once confirmation. He had to like wait twice confirmation.
Like,
because
guys, is she trying to like kiss me right now, guys? Like,
Okay, guys, it's because I don't want to cross these boundaries. All right,
I
she
know,
was
I know.
not sober, and I never like thought that this would happen and stuff. You know, so
But
I'll suffice.
honestly, it was 2-factor authentication for sure. It was 2FA required.
Okay, stop. I understand. Well, how listen is because I'm similar. I don't like to like, especially if it's in like a friend group. It's like I don't know. Like I always say like not to. I always think that like when you like, you know, like in your group, it's kind of
Yeah.
like iffy because like it can like, cause a lot of problems. So
no, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I get it. And like I think that's like the best thing about you is that you being nice about it and you're like consent before you
Mhm.
actually like go for it, which is honestly what a lot of girls actually would appreciate.
Yeah.
If
It
you
should
Okay.
be the standard. Wait, what?
I know.
For real. I'd
Like
be like
Uh,
so scared.
seriously.
I'd be like, she's throwing ass at me. Or
I want to say this additional information, which might be a plot twist.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not to expose her, but I'm just gonna expose the truth. Okay,
Okay.
so we're not that close, but I'm still comfortable with like her in the group and everything, right? Everyone. So
Okay.
when I went bar hopping last weekend, right? So I'm bar hopping with some friends, and then somehow they brought that up. They brought up the like time when like we basically like danced together and stuff, or there's just that night in general. And the guy that was telling me the stuff, I don't think I've ever met him before. Like I don't remember. So it was probably like a first or second meeting. But he was
Mhm.
drunk, but he was being honest, right? So he was just like, "Oh yeah, that night, blah blah." And then he's like, the girl. He's referring to the girl. He's like, she was roasting the shit out of you like after that, saying that you're like
Oh
you're
no.
not even that cute and stuff. And then he's like, but don't worry, don't take it too seriously. She has a lot going on in her life right now, so she's just like saying all these things, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't know that.
No. Nah. 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 Nah.
No, but I literally don't think she's a bad person or anything. Like I kind of like believe them because things could be happening.
Nice.
I just
You're
like she
too
was also
nice.
drunk, so
You're really nice, Wilson.
thank you.
That's fucked.
I know.
Just saying.
Mochi, let's go fuck her up. Where is she?
Oh no, what the fuck? No, that's no.
I'm kidding. I'm
whoa,
kidding. I'm kidding.
whoa, we can't get no negativity.
Like
This is like
he
kidding,
told me
I'm
that,
kidding.
and I was just like, I was like thrown off, but I wasn't like affected about it, honestly, because
I'm
he was like
kidding.
saying it in such a reassuring way. He's just like, oh, she like probably doesn't mean it because she was going through all this stuff, and she usually talks shit about people. I don't know, like when she's going through it.
red flag, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
Anyways,
I mean, like,
Yeah.
no, but I understand like I understand like of like you asking anything like I honestly I've done this where you're like she's touching her hair, she's looking at me, she's holding my hand. Nah, she doesn't like me. I was like,
but like to be honest, like I'm gonna be serious and for real here for a second. It's like it doesn't matter how much shit somebody else is going through
Mhm.
or what somebody else is going through. Like if they're if they're talking shit in order to de-stress that way, like that doesn't give them an excuse to like say that type of shit, no matter how much they think shallow it is or how like yeah, like I don't care like what you're going through. It doesn't give you an excuse or a reason to like insult somebody. And like
Hmm.
Wilson, like you just like being understanding of that, like you're so nice for doing that because like honestly for me just hearing somebody like insult one of my friends like that, like I don't care what you're going through, doesn't give you a right to insult somebody. I would throw hands for you. I am just gonna say so.
I think the difference though is like it shouldn't really matter. Like I'm like it's like what happened? Like okay, people say things, but it's just words. Words don't hurt you. It's like they're just words. They're not gonna like do anything to you. I'm like, and it's just like a matter of like how that person's like that's probably the way they cope. You know, it's a negative way of coping, but like you know
Yeah.
that's how they cope. Like it's like, but like in reality, like it's like it is not gonna hurt you. Like I'm like words are just words. They're not.
Mhm.
They shouldn't do as much as like a physical or like mental damage.
Yeah, and because we're not like super close or anything, it didn't really affect me. I feel like words from friends like that are close to me would definitely hurt a lot more, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't know much about her, so I can't really like grasp everything, all the details, and like piece it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the recent one.
Oh wait, another one.
Sharing. Oh,
Oh, there's another one?
Okay, this other one is probably the craziest
Before we
one.
go in, Can I take a pee break real
Yes,
quick?
I was gonna say like I would try to get water, but if you guys need a quick break,
Water and pee break.
water, pee, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay,
come
be
back.
right back.
Yes. Don't worry, I have a BRB screen, but they could hear you, okay? Guys, I
Oh,
want you
not the
guys to.
BRB screen.
Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be
Big
back.
screen.
Oh wait, Mochi, this is why he's an ABB. Like he went.
She
S
knows.
tier
She's
because
seen
of-
it, and it has nothing to do with being an ABB because I'm
You
not.
know what's even crazier? I was there when we actually filmed
The fact
that.
that it's at the place you took it at is even more crazier. But anyways,
Dude, I was there when he filmed it, so just saying.
Alright.
But be right back.
I'm gonna go save the world. Be right back.
Don't go tonight. Stay here one more time. Remind me what it's like. And let's fall in love one more time. I need you now by my side. It tears me up when you turn me down. I'm begging, please, just stick around. I'm sorry, don't leave me. I want you here with me. I know that your love is gone. I can't breathe, I'm so weak. I know this isn't easy. Don't tell me that your love is gone. That your love is gone. Don't tell me that your love is gone. That your love is gone. I'm sorry, don't leave me. I want you here with me. I know that your love is gone. I can't breathe. I'm sorry.
Hello. Okay, I'll. I couldn't hear it, but hopefully you guys heard
Couldn't
that.
hear what?
Oh no, I played the BRB screen.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I'm back. Welcome back, guys, and then we'll wait for
Also-
everyone.
I haven't had dinner yet. Do you guys mind if I eat?
Yeah, go eat, please, just eat, chill, do your thing.
Also, just to
Appreciate
let
you
you know-
guys in chat for being here.
Also, just to let you know, I have somebody next to me. Just warning y'all. So.
Your mom. I'm just kidding.
You guys have seen him before. He's
What's
like right
up,
next to me.
Kenny?
They say hi.
Oh my god, it's the beast, right?
It is the beast. You can come say hi.
What's up, the beast?
I
It's
like
the beast? Yeah.
it is said beast. He went out and bought us dinner, so
Aw.
yeah, he's nice.
Oh, Joseph's here. Oh my god, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Joseph saw the girl too from Friday. But I don't
Oh,
know. I don't
damn.
know if he paid attention though, to be honest.
Do you think he did?
I don't know actually. Joseph's kind of like in his own world, and that's a good thing. Like, he's straight
Yeah.
vibing, always vibing.
Joseph's a huge viber.
All right, Saber's back. Like, listen, okay, this guy. Nothing wrong with that. All right, y'all back? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn. What's up?
What's up?
Good.
Nothing much, you know, Buttercup. Nothing much.
So, what are we talking about?
Mochi, do you have any questions?
Talk about rave bays. But is there like
Okay,
there any way that you would see yourself being the one who's asking someone at an event? No, just like never? Like why? Like what?
That's just not Wilson's style.
It's
Like,
not
I,
the
I know
style.
it.
It's
It's,
just
not
the
his style
ick.
whatsoever.
No, I feel like there has to be a lot of room for growth for that to happen, or like comfortability. The reason is because I feel like there's a chance I could connect with someone, but deep down, I am an overthinker. I really like overanalyze, and I read too much into like how other people would feel and stuff.
Like,
For example,
what are you overthinking? Yeah, for example.
For example,
Self-sabotaging.
yeah. So I meet someone and I like if I think they're cool and stuff, like cute, attractive and stuff, and I would like dance with them, I don't want to like I don't like eyes being on me. That's one thing. So I wouldn't want like my group and shit to like make a big deal about it. And then two, I wouldn't want to like take the person away from their group because I want to be considerate of like their group too. I don't like it's like a personal ick. It's like, yo, I'm vibing with your group with not with intentions to dance with this girl. Like I don't want to like have my entryway like through you guys just to like get at her. You know, like if I'm gonna vibe with you guys, it's gonna be like all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I find it hard personally to like do that, like to single someone out and just to like ask them and everything. But then that's a part of the growth thing. But when I mentioned the Ali and Smoke's perception of like they have to do probably like 100% of the work to like make it happen, I feel like that is literally what needs to happen, and it has happened.
Okay, can you explain what is 100%? Like,
Okay.
so they come up to you. Give me a scenario.
Okay, we'll just lead into the other story I was supposed to say. I just hope
Yeah.
everyone will like forget about it, but
Oh, you thought so? I never forget stories.
Yeah, we
Wilson.
never forget
I know
stories.
everything that you told me since, so don't worry.
whew, this is okay, the fact that you guys don't know is really good because that means the people who do know kept their mouths shut. So,
What if
trustworthy
I do
friends.
know? What if I do know and
You fucking know?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, I would be
Maybe I
pissed.
know.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Did it happen in NorCal or did it happen in SoCal?
It happened in SoCal.
Okay.
Mm,
I know I had to take a deep breath.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a great follow-up because this is specifically what like matches what Mochi's question was.
Okay.
So damn, this was right before Countdown.
Oh
Yeah. You know about it?
no, but I know there's only two places you went before countdown, and I know for sure one I wasn't in.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay. So I drove down or with a friend. We went down and then it was a 4-day bender. It was a 4-day bender?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh man, I'm
something's
exposing.
bound to happen with a 4-day bender.
I'm exposing
Oh
myself.
no.
Okay. So the reason why I went is because Will is like he was like, all right, I'll get you the ticket. You just have to come down and we'll go. Like so, literally the day we drove down, as soon as we got there, I basically got ready and then we went to the club. Right. So Will invited me. I'll just explain. I'll just tell you guys what the group was. It was me, Merrick, Will, and Maddie.
Maddie.
Yeah. And this is the first time I've like went to an event with Maddie too. So Maddie doesn't know like the backstory of like how everyone's raving experiences are or what we're like, right? So then and it was at
At
freaking
the worst club.
It was
worst
at the
club,
worst club that they talked
worst
about.
club in SoCal.
So I had
and then-
low expectations. I had low expectations of this club and stuff, but I just wanted to go for the vibes, right, with everyone. And it was free, so we got in, we drank. It was a small ass stage. We got to the stage and chilled for a bit. Met a new friend. Met this guy, and he was with his girl best friend. They were like super cool. Like she was hella drunk though.
Oh.
And then he was like super chill. I went to the bathroom. I remember I went to the bathroom. I came back. When I came back, they all like our group merged with theirs, so they were like super like they were nice people for sure. And then I'm just chilling with Will like near the front. And then these girls, there was like a group of 3 girls that came behind us and they kept bumping us. they kept like hitting like beating like hitting us from the back like while dancing, right? And then Will's being
Not the
very
back shots.
Will's being protective, so he like puts like the arm, so he like protects me, right?
Mhm.
So he protects me, and then the girls like end up like leaving. They disappear. Okay,
Mhm.
so they disappear, and then I think like 30 minutes later, they eventually came back. They came back, and it was still me and Will in the front, and then they're like just dancing, all that. And I remember looking back, and then I made eye contact with one of them, and she ends up literally walking through me and Will, like from behind, and goes right in front of me
Oh.
with her friends. With her friends. She
Oh.
literally just like went right in front of us, right?
That's
And
kind of
then
obvious.
they start dancing in front, and then she keeps looking back at me, and then she literally got super close, and she was like basically like dancing like on me, right?
Mm.
And then of course you know what I did next. I was just like, well, I'm not crazy, she's trying to dance on me. And then he's like,
guys.
and then this is Will, he's just like, yeah, she is, like she for sure is.
Dude, I want to be there for that, bro. I want you to ask me, dude. I want to see this.
And then I'm just like, bro. And then I remember like talking to her. I remember like trying to talk to her because she grabs my hand.
Mhm.
She like grabs my hand and like puts it on her and like starts like dancing and stuff. And then I'm
Wait,
just
wait.
like,
Question.
what?
Hand placement was where?
Like it was like on the hip, and then like she wanted my other arm to like basically hug her, like wrap, like on her arm, or like holding her hand, and then just like hip and stuff. And then
So
she,
kind of like this.
yeah, that too, yeah. It was like she kept
Oh.
switching it. This is literally what 100% means. She was controlling my body, my hands.
100%,
Yeah.
dude. Wilson, you should have done the. You should have done the. What we taught you.
No. There's no
I have
candy
a
and stuff.
question.
Yeah.
Sorry, to pause the story.
All
Are
good.
you enjoying this? Like, if she, no, just a genuine question. Like, if she's controlling all like your movement, like, are you enjoying?
Okay.
Wait, is that a bad
No,
question?
that's a
No,
great
that's
question.
that's actually a pretty
actually
valid
a really
question.
good question.
That's a pretty
I-
valid
After you
question.
say that, I was gonna say, do you deny someone if they try to do that? I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
Like I
okay.
was comfortable enough, because like in my head I am comfortable enough to like actually have like a raid bait or something, but I just wouldn't initiate and do things like, you know, like initiate it in general. So then she did everything, and then
Mhm.
I remember like trying to make small talk to her, at least. Like in my head I was just like, damn, you don't even know my name. Like so I'm like
Your
talk
part-time
to her.
lovers. You don't know the name.
Yeah, I'm like trying to like get to know her and stuff, and like, and then I'm like, I literally told her, I'm just like, I'm shy. I told her that I was shy.
Damn, you use shy technique. That's such
Like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm shy. And you know what she says? I don't think you're shy. She literally said that to me.
Yeah,
Oh my
she's so
gosh.
bold. She's an Aries for
She's
sure.
hella bold.
That's what I like.
Okay, I don't want to like expose like information of like what she's like and stuff, but then, or like where she's from and all that. But she's from SoCal.
Mm.
I don't want to like say her name and stuff.
Yeah, don't
But
say her name.
she's not a raver. I know that for sure. Like I know she's not a raver and everything. And as soon as she's like dancing and stuff, it felt like we were like a couple. Like not gonna lie, it just felt like we were a couple at the moment. And then all of a sudden, you just see Merrick's face, Will's face, and my other friend's face, just like all like staring at me and smiling at me and shit. And I'm just like, "Fuck you
too.
guys." And then,
For real, like I don't like. We're, dude,
I would too.
Dude, I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, do you see that? And I'd be like,
okay,
Fuck,
I'm
like,
gonna expose their asses. I'm gonna expose and myself right now. Those motherfuckers were recording and taking pictures and everything. I see
We
their
were doing
phone
the
on
same.
me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the
I'm gonna
fuck?
ask for those photos and videos now.
And then her and her friends started like recording and stuff, like including like getting me included and stuff, right? And then I was just like, in my head, I overthink, right? So I want to like be considerate of her group and make them feel included. Like I don't want to just like take her away and stuff, right? And then so I'm like trying to say like hi to them and stuff, and they just keep like smiling and giggling, whatever. And then she has guys in her group too. So I was trying to be considerate of the guys. And then I said what's up to the guy, and you know what he says to me? He looks at me and he's just like, "Oh, so I see that you've met my cousin." It's the girl.
No,
It's literally the girl that I'm,
Thanks.
yeah, that I'm dancing with.
Let me have a talk with you. let me have...
He says it in that tone, and then I'm like, bruh.
Oh, this is my
Bruh.
cousin.
And then like I wasn't thinking on the spot, so I was like, yeah, she's nice.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Dude, that's literally like a run moment.
No, it was.
No, that
Wait,
was
so you-
hella funny.
Get the Insta for that?
I did.
Oh, W's.
Yeah, but like that was like the first time something like that happened. So I finally like understand what it's like to just be like a one and done type of thing, which sounds
Yeah,
so
that's
bad to me to say,
Literally,
but
like
literally,
a part-time lover.
yeah.
Literally
and
part-time
then,
lover.
yeah, and then it was just like even like it was so cordial, like even saying bye. Like yeah,
Like cordial as in like it was a pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure meeting you too. Or it was like, nice meeting you.
yeah. It was just like
Hi.
a
Bye.
it was just like a kiss bye type of thing. Yeah.
Kissing
you
bye. So
kissed?
wait, she kissed?
Oh my god,
He
bro.
said it!
You
She-
exposed yourself.
No, okay.
Wait.
I told you guys I would say everything. She
Okay, valid.
And I wasn't there.
She
for
did a
this?
lot.
Fuck.
Let's say she's not gonna lie. This is not an insult. I'm pretty sure she's freaky. Let's just say that.
What's wrong with that, Wilson?
Nothing. I'm just saying that's it. Like a lot as in she felt very comfortable. Like I could tell when she was like very, very comfortable with me.
Mm-hmm.
Where she was
See,
like
it's your aura. that
She
people
like
just
got
felt.
attracted to your aura of inclusivity.
yeah, she wanted to like kiss and stuff. Like she kept signaling and trying and then
Were
when
you just, like, dodging?
when I did, and then Caster's right, she was like using tongue and everything, and I was like, holy fuck. And then
I wasn't there.
I was like, and then after the event, I was just like trying not to talk about it, and then Will was like, "This is my favorite event. I'm so glad I took you here. This is like the best event ever." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
That would be my best event ever with Wilson.
That would
Because we've had like going back on the question of like not wanting, like not knowing that you don't want it, because
It is
I
in
know
hide- it's
Wilson
not.
had it. I know Wilson had one. It was when we went Planner Day 2, and it was the girls behind us, and they kept on wanting Wilson for some reason. Like, and they're like, you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, who?
Day 2 of Slander.
Wait, I wasn't-
Oh, the bumper cars.
Yeah, bumper cars, bro.
wait,
They
wait,
were
wait. You
literally
gotta
throwing ass backwards to our asses. It was
okay,
so
wait, hold on a
bad.
sec. You gotta let me and Mochi in on this story. Like, what are these bumper cars that y'all are speaking of?
They're
Oh,
just throwing
okay.
ass.
So we're yeah.
The behind, like you're just what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like throwing
You're
ass,
looking
but to
this
like
way.
our asses. Yeah. Wait,
Nice.
I think Hein was there too. Hein was there.
Hein was there.
Hein was getting like a lot of
Hein's
the
the reason
ass.
why they came.
Yeah,
Hein's the reason why
Hein-
they came.
Hein was like hella nice to them and stuff, so they stayed behind us, and then they started like bumper carring us, and then I was like, holy shit, this is not good.
Bruh.
Yeah, like, and then Wilson went next to me, and then they stopped bumper carring. I stopped
Yeah.
them from bumper carring.
I like to shield myself. Hide.
With his bodyguards.
Yeah, so that's what it goes back to Mochi's question about like how they have to literally do
Mhm.
everything, because I don't want to
Mhm.
like go past these type of boundaries, especially like since I'm not used to it. And then yeah, it's kind of traumatic because you know they were like recording and everything, and like
I feel like the fact that your entire friend group is recording you, I could also see that being another reason why it's like dramatized.
yes,
Yeah, like, you wouldn't-
yes,
I feel
100%,
that. Yeah.
100%.
As someone,
That's what it's like to be in the group. That's why I'm always like overthinking, and can't.
That's why I'm always the one that leaves.
Mm.
because if I find one of these guys and I'm like, and I'm dancing with someone, I already like know it's gonna be talked about. Like, dude, like, so what happened? Like, it's just how it is, you know. You just get over it. Like, it happens to everyone. Like, if it happens at a rave, it's gonna be told amongst the group and the people. So that's why, like, you'll never see Wilson. But the thing is, you'll never see Wilson go off on his own.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like to be on his own.
Or at least I like to try to stay with the group.
Yeah. So then that also takes away the fact of him going off to go find someone else as well,
Mhm.
and also the fact of like of him going back to like going and then like trying to take someone else, because like I also think that's kind of rude. But it's just like, because like I've had it where guys try to be nice to the guys first and then they go for the girls,
Yeah.
and I'm like pissed at them. I'm like I know what you're trying to do. Like I'm like no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Wilson, I do have a follow-up question for like rave bays, part-time lovers, etc.
Mhm.
I know we bringing up the idea of wingman from time to time, and you're always telling us that you'd wingman us if we ever like find somebody or anything.
Yeah, you're
but
welcome.
Okay, you didn't do.
Wild.
Okay, you didn't do anything with this one. Okay, I'm just saying.
Hey,
But
why'd you go?
okay, you didn't deliberately. Okay,
This is the Wilson podcast. This is not the our podcast.
No, what's
No,
what's
no,
up?
no.
What's up though? What's the question?
But then, like, do you ever feel pressure from us to like I know you don't, but like I just feel like I have to ask. Whenever I say we would wingman you, like, do you ever feel like there's pressure for you to wingman us even more if we say we want to wingman you, or like it's like having like reverse psychology, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no. Honestly, the wingmanning thing is all like, I would like to think that we all know it's just like a running joke type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
For real.
I don't.
Yeah, it is a joke.
I don't expect you, and I wouldn't want you guys to try to do like any of that for me. Like, I feel like if I were to do it, it would be like a natural, organic, that type of thing. Obviously, with like the girl with like at least a 60-40, you know, in her favor or like side of doing things. So yeah, I don't take it like to heart or anything. But then for me trying to wingman, I have my own ways of trying, but I wouldn't like do it to the extent of making you guys uncomfortable.
I've heard of his ways, and I was like, that's the craziest.
Wait, can we hear? Wait.
Oh wait,
Have you heard about some of his ways, Mochi?
No.
Before that, Phanum said, if you're splitting to meet with people and a girl pulls you and wants to your rave, do you stay with her or go back to your friends? I feel
Bring
like
her to your friends.
that's what you do.
No, I don't, because
Okay, because I wouldn't know the answer to that. So yeah,
I mean,
my point, the just point thing.
just point. Literally, Wilson before every single rave, he's like, "Just point. I got y'all." Like,
Yeah.
he says that all the time.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Annie?
I've never seen him like
What's up,
wingman
two?
in like actual like visual scene, but I've only heard of the stories. And out of the stories I've already heard, I don't like the way he does it. He just
Oh, wait. So, can I ask Wilson, what are your ways of? What were
tell her
some
about
of
the spinning around one. That's the one that
spinning
makes,
around?
that's the one that I know, and I was like,
Me and
What is
Mochi
this?
both are making the same face. We're like spinning around, like.
So there was one time where I was next to Santi, and then there was this girl like next to me, and she was like hella vibing, and she was just like enjoying our vibes and stuff, right? So then we were like, I think it was Keizo or something. It was like a heavy set. I remember that, and it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I noticed that she was just like vibing with us, Santi's like kind of drunk, like we pre-gamed and stuff. So I tapped his shoulder, or I tapped on him, and then I literally switched places with him. So I did like the little spinnerino, and
Yeah.
as soon as he switched, she starts talking to him, and then they start vibing,
Nice.
talking more, giving them their own space, and then it went downhill from there because of her friends. But you know, I still kind of did my part ish. So that's like the spin around trick.
That's not bad.
That's
Yeah.
not
That's not
bad.
bad. Or it's the
Yeah.
one that he just pushes you and he just like goes in, and then you go towards her.
Yeah, so I did that like a few times because I did it to like Steve too. But not, yeah. Yeah.
But like that's funny. Like you'd be like dab him up.
It's the
and then you just fucking spin
reposition
around.
technique.
He did substitution jitsu right there, right?
Yeah, it's either me switching places or running away, basically.
Oh no, yeah, he ran away one time. He just runs away. That's the thing I was like.
Why would you run away?
No, because Nathaniel was here earlier. He was talking about it. It was at day 2 of that 4-day bender at Arm & Hammer. Before countdown. So what happened was, I just didn't really like vibe with the girl. Like, didn't really think she was like attractive or anything. I don't know. It was just I wasn't feeling the vibe. And then she was like getting closer and closer, and then like I noticed. So then I just ran to Nathaniel. Like he was like across the group to the right side, and then I just went up to him, and then he's just like, "What happened?" And I'm just like, "I'll tell you after. It's okay." And then we're just like chilling there.
Nice.
And then he like
like-
holds that
yeah.
against me.
What? Why?
He's just like, "I'm your safety net" and stuff. Like, to run
But I
to.
feel like this is so common, like in the rave scene with a group and everything. Like you either run away or like you switch spots.
Yeah.
Or like you like slowly like inch away from like the person just to make it like not as visible that you're trying to avoid them, but it's still visible.
Yeah, because I like more so like people to vibe with, at least at first, not like pop out of nowhere and just like start dancing on you type of thing. There's just like different ways of going at it. Of course, I'm not gonna like openly say how I feel and what I think about it, but it's like if those situations happen, then I know like specifically what to do now.
Oh, random question. Have you ever gotten asked by a girl for a shoulder ride? Or for something similar of the sort?
No.
Or like ever never, okay. Just
I
wondering.
don't. There's not a lot of people that I've noticed. There's not a lot of girls that would actually ask. There's some girls that actually ask, and that's like honestly, if a girl's asking, normally it's like she probably just wants to like, get closer to you. But like normally it's like the guys that ask. Like they're like, "Oh, you want shoulder ride?"
Really?
And that's mostly kind of like that guy wants.
They're opening.
Sometimes. Yeah, they're opening up to be like, and then be like, "Oh, like that was like, how was it? You know, that was crazy cool." You're like, and then you just like start talking to them like that.
Because I have heard of like girls going up to guys asking for shoulder rides, and
It goes both ways, honestly. Like they also do that.
It's just very, very light. It's very few that girls do. And it's normally literally the guys that ask for it. Because like I think it's like it's nothing harmful, and it's like you kind of like they're trying to like testing it like in a way. Like they're like, oh, like maybe this girl like see if like to start the conversation.
Yeah, it's definitely like the confidence thing too. Like typically you see guys like making the first move and stuff. So but there are girls that do make.
I agree, Will. Bear Grylls was pretty fire. I wish I was there, Will. I wish I was there.
Hey, someone told him about this. Someone told.
No one told me. I literally
no,
said
Will.
that.
I said Will. Someone told Will about this.
Yo.
Oh,
That's
really?
why he's bringing it up right now. Who did it? Who did it?
Oh yeah.
Who snitched?
Who did it?
It has to be someone.
Anyways, so that was that few stories.
Say what
Okay.
you have. Yeah. Go for it.
So what's like the best present you ever received, and who gave it to you, and why is it special to you, Wilson? From
Ooh.
anyone?
Oh, dang, that's hard. I honestly have a lot of things that people have gifted me, and although on the what's it called when we talk about gift giving, love language, there you go, love language of receiving gifts isn't like the highest for me. It's like actually the lowest. I still appreciate it, especially when it's of sentimental value. So the things I cherish the most would even be like like pictures, like Polaroids with like messages, or like birthday cards, stuff like that. I feel like sometimes I would just look back at it and just like remember those memories, and I would cherish them. So those significant things. Like I also have a best friend who gave me what is it called? The thing that you find in the sand dollar? Sand dollars?
Like seashells?
Sand dollar.
Yeah, sand dollar. There you go. and then there was like a significance like behind it, like a message of just like kind of like protect it at all costs, make sure it doesn't get damaged and stuff. It's like a signal of our like a reputation of the friendship and everything. There's just so much meaning behind it.
I see.
So,
Because
things
like I
that.
noticed that a lot of people cherish your gifts. Like like when I remember when you used to sign those Pokemon cards, people would cherish those.
No, that's
Pokemon
so
cards.
crazy to me. Didn't expect people to think of it like in such a high regard, because I don't know. To me, I'm the one giving it, of course, so I wouldn't understand from their perspective. But it's crazy to see how much they actually cherish it. Like I appreciate it, but I guess I don't realize it to that extent.
Yeah, I have mine, the ones that you gave me.
Yeah, like a
Because
lot of friends have it.
People would ask you to sign it and everything. That's like it's just like crazy and like.
Those were for the TwitchCon events. So 2 years of those cards.
Damn.
A nice question. You guys have good questions, honestly. I feel like I'm learning about myself.
Yeah, and I did this in 20 minutes.
Damn. Okay.
I have one random question unrelated to anything, but I remember looking at your stream like about section, and it said your ethnicity is like Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, and I was like, oh, I guess I never talked to you one-on-one outside of like raving, streaming, and I was like, oh, like, do you know how to speak any of those languages, or like, has that influenced you anyway, or is there like ethnicity that you mostly closely identify with, like?
So just like a quick background about that. My mom's Chinese Korean, my dad is Chinese Vietnamese, but then everyone in the family basically speaks Vietnamese. So they immigrated. They lived in Vietnam though, so they immigrated to US, Cali. And then I was initially raised with Chinese, so the Cantonese and Mandarin dialects. I don't know the root of why I didn't learn Vietnamese, but I heard that my mom had like a specific prejudice against Viet. I don't know why, even though she knew it, she just refused to like speak it again for some reason. And then we moved to Florida. So as a minority in Florida, growing up, I didn't have a lot of people to speak my language with, my native language. Although I did go to school for Mandarin for a few years. So I only retained that to like middle school because the only people I would speak to was with my grandfather. But he didn't live in Florida. He would only visit from time to time. And my dad would only speak to me in English. Because he did go to like high school in Cali. So I had no one to speak with, so I lost pretty much like a majority of it, like 90% of it. So I would say I'm pretty washed, honestly. And then my mom, she didn't live with us after like when I was in like 4th grade. So yeah, literally no one to speak to.
Oh, cool.
But they're mostly like traditional, like Buddhist and big on Vietnamese.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, but my dad's fluent in like Chinese, both Chinese and Vietnamese.
Ooh.
No Korean though in the family because it was my grandfather on my mom's side, but he was not present really in our lives. Maybe like I only met him like twice or 3 times.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a hell of a upbringing, honestly.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, here is a question for you, since I think a lot of people are curious because you've been going to so many events for the last few months. When will Mr. Wilson Chang retire from events or
Never.
from raves? If there will ever be a retirement period.
Never.
Honestly, the reason why I came back into raving was because of the friends that I happened to like meet on Twitch, and we just had that similar interest. And then a lot of my friends were like new to raving, so that got me out of it. And then that plus being single helped, like
Mhm.
appreciating the rave scene more. And I've been having so much fun. But moving forward, I'm honestly uncertain about like what's gonna go down. I did talk about this a little bit, but I don't think a lot of people know because I didn't publicly announce it. But my job, I'm basically my project's gonna end soon, so I'm not gonna have a
Mhm.
job within like the next few months. So
Oh
that
no.
leaves room for a lot of uncertainty.
Mhm.
So by like the summertime, I'm gonna be jobless, and I'm gonna have to be selective with like whatever events I go to, because honestly, I pay for like hella shit.
Mhm.
And so after what I already have planned now, it will slow down if I don't find
Mhm.
anything.
What do
Yeah,
you do for work? Like specific career wise?
I work. The title is a process specialist and support agent, but I basically work with a company that's partnered with Google. So I work on Google like business profiles. At least with that product. So if you have like maps listings, like let's say you search up a McDonald's and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like you see how you navigate the interface and stuff. There's so many teams that work on maps itself, but I specifically work on the back end of a lot of those, like to support business owners who own those listings. Whether like if there's an issue, there's so many teams that like communicate to try to resolve those issues, and I would be like one of the backbones of it too. But then I also deal with like legal, private, and sensitive issues relative to like that stuff, like business profiles. And then I work on
Mhm.
like a lot of like specific like it's a lot of random stuff in the back line of it.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like consulting with other teams and engineers, product specialists or experts,
Oh.
program managers, yeah, to like communicate these issues. Just think of like having a manual, a rule book,
Mm.
and it's something you were always refer to know how to do certain things on like Google business profiles and how to resolve issues. I also try to edit that or make
Mhm.
adjustments or incorporate new rules and stuff, like pass on and make new rules and to keep everyone up to date with those.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like a mix of
That's really cool.
things, but it's hard to find rules that are kind of relative to that unless they're willing to like teach you how to do things on the new products.
Mhm.
But I'm not passionate about it. Like, not gonna lie, I don't know what I want to do.
Are you thinking about doing more for streaming? Is that one of your options? I'm guessing.
No, because streaming realistically won't get me far unless I
Mhm.
don't know, something miraculously happens. It's always been, I don't know, streaming. I can't see it as a job. It's more of like a hobby for me. Because that's another thing, like another topic that I've mentioned. Like I can't push towards a financial like gain direction with streaming.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like people like support me and stuff, like friends, like these subs and stuff, but like I've always had like a guilty conscience about it, even though you guys are like supporting me.
Mhm.
Because it's like feels to me it feels like I'm getting money off of you guys, and that's not what I want.
Yeah.
But I have no problem with anyone else doing that. Like by all means, it's just me personally.
Mhm.
Have you looked into the rave ambassador thing from your last podcast? No.
Like those jobs and stuff,
Yeah.
I haven't, and I also don't know if I would want to do that. So it's interesting though. Like I don't know the details of it, and I could look into it in the future. Like I'd say I'm open minded, but I'm also very lost when it comes to deciding what to do
Mhm.
Mm.
with everything, even content too. Like I'm just trying these things.
Mhm. You're just testing it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here is a question that I've actually been low-key kind of curious about, if you're okay with it.
Go for it.
have you ever like we joke around and we call you an ABB, like a Rizzler and that type of thing. But like, have you ever like seriously considered it like a compliment from somebody when they call you like an ABB or when they call you a Rizzler? Like, I'm actually very curious.
Okay,
Oh, he hates it.
before I answer this, whenever you guys call me it, what's your mindset about it? What are your actual like feelings about it?
Why do I say it?
Like anything, it could be anything. Like just the truth behind it. Like when you say it and joke about it.
When I call you an ABB, like I don't fully think you are. Like, but like I just like joke around with it and I just kind of like throw it there because everybody else is kind of like throwing it there. But Riz wise, I do think you are. Like I do think you have Riz. Just like you just don't know about it. So I really do
Unspoken
think you're
Riz?
Rizzler. Like I really do think you have Riz. So that's why I call you a Rizzler because I think for sure you are.
Okay.
Mine, I think of every single time I see you go shirtless and you wear tattoos. and- What do you mean? I've seen you shirtless many times, Wilson. What are you talking about?
I've seen
I just made a face. Go ahead. I was just trying to see where you're going with this.
Dude, when you suddenly just brought up him being shirtless out of bed.
That's so Swolson, you know. But no, for real though, like he's like, I think of like, it's funny that for some reason, everyone wants Wilson to take off his shirt. For some reason, like that's like a goal. Like anytime there's a charity thing, we're like, what is it like? What's the how many points is it to take off his shirt? Like and we always hit it. Actually, we mostly hit it, but like that's always a goal. Or like it's a sight to be seen. You know, it's just like. That's like his ABB. That's him going Super Saiyan ABB right there. Like when he takes off his shirt.
Super
His
Saiyan
first-
ABB, so like evolutionized ABB.
That's his first form. That's his first form.
4.
First form.
The-
Second form, I've never seen it yet.
What?
I've heard it's it's crazy.
Wait,
though.
what is his second form?
Well, I've never seen it, but I know there's a second.
It's coming.
It's called.
It's coming at EDC.
Yeah.
For real.
Okay, but what's your actual thoughts about it, Saber, when you call me that?
Oh, what's my thoughts? It's just funny as fuck. It's just
Okay.
it's just funny as fuck. It's just like like everyone, like it's a little hee ha's,
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think I have the same riz as what Cherry's saying?
But see, I've never been around it, so I've never seen like I would have to see how you interact.
Okay, that's
With-
fair. That's fair.
Like the only thing we know is like you're like because like I said, you won't tell us if you like a girl. Because I said if you tell me if you like this girl, I'll go get her for you. I don't care. Like that, I don't care. Like this guy right here, this guy thinks you're so cute. I'm kidding.
Unfriended.
Wait. Unfriended.
That's crazy.
Wait, before you go, Cherry, so Mochi, how about you?
I think at first it was like everyone else in chat saying it. And it was funny. And then when I started mentioning it, I think you take it very well and you laugh too. So that is my cue of like, oh, like this person is okay with being called that. That's my perception. Obviously, I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems like I get a reaction out of you and it's positive. And it's funny. So if it's hee-haws, I don't know. I don't know, but that's funny because I like when I think of Wilson Chang, I think of like the raver, the ABB, like,
It's not even
just bold caps,
Bold.
all caps.
It's not even an ABB. It's the ABB.
The raver. Like that's like you're like the boss, and like it's just like the raver. Like
It's like
right
the
there.
boss,
Holy.
the raver,
Yeah, dude, the
the
rave king.
ABB, the Rizzler.
I know some people are gonna start calling you the rave king, and then like you have like your little apostles, like your wardens and your captains.
Wardens.
Dude,
Okay.
he's already an ABB president. I mean, like, what else can we put him on?
Okay, with no bias though, no bias. Like, how about appearance and personality?
From looks alone, like, and like let's say like I never see if I like the first time like I meet you, I would say you can go off the ABB life. From personality, no.
Yeah. I agree with Saber. Personality, no. Looks wise, yeah. Also, Wilson, your lights keep on going on and off.
Oh yeah. Someone's controlling it. It's fine.
Ah, okay.
For me, it's no and no.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you're approachable, and I feel like an ABB is like ick. You know? I don't know.
But it's like the far away. It's like the far away. Like I'm not thinking of this is
Oh.
like not talking to him,
Yeah.
and like it's not even like you like because you look at Wilson, you know, like you can't just think like approachable, and it's like just straight like oh like from afar you see him like oh this is a man. This is this is like this is the baby. Like it's just like from afar like this like because like if you start like putting in that I'm like it's like it wouldn't be because like Wilson's like nowhere near it. Unless you know until after he made his little freaking little video at the end, you know that's when they started changing everything off. You know, I was like what that. Or actually, I won't talk about it.
Honest opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But Wilson,
Fair.
what do you think?
You asked how do I feel
Like-
about it?
Or
Right.
like, do you consider it like we joke around and we say it like for funsies and all that stuff? But like, do you yourself seriously consider it a compliment when we tell you like, oh, you're like an ABB or like a Rizzler? We'll make it into two different questions. Like, ABB, is that a compliment to you? And Rizzler, is that a compliment to you? Or do you like it when you're called that? Honestly.
Okay, for both of them, like I'm just gonna say it together. It feels like in general it does have like a negative connotation in society when you like talk about that or like describe, you know, like giving that perception. But the way that you guys say it and stuff, and everyone, like I understand that it's like an inside joke, and so I don't perceive it in a bad way. So it's
like-
very light-hearted, but then like. Not that I think this would happen, but if this like joke and stuff carries over to like new people that don't know me, if they were to ever think of it in a negative situation, then I would see that's like where the line should be drawn. That would be a problem. But if they understand it's like a running joke and stuff, and they actually get to like know me, who knows? They might even join in on it. Not gonna lie. But,
For real.
yeah, it's
Honestly,
it's not a bad thing.
But yeah, like it does have like a negative, like I guess it does have like a negative, like to the name, but like
Society.
I think like in the community and like how we make it, it's different from how like everyone else, because like you know it's different from like how everyone talks about it like in like TikTok and everything. You know, everyone like hates it over there and everything. Well, in ours, we're just like, oh, this is like our funnies and stuff. Or like, like you know, I was gonna ask you because your next question was gonna be like, all right, because you know. Everyone probably wants to know your tier list on your ABB boys tier list, so let's get your ABB tier list going.
I think you've done an ABB tier list before when we did a.
Like, you want me to be honest? Like a tier list? But then, like for me, how I gauge it would not even. It would be based on one looks and then like personality traits, and it's based on like my history of knowing people. That's how I would rank it. If people wouldn't feel offended, you know. And
well, you can do the typical ones that we do, you know, like just the typical ones we put in the tier list.
Yeah. What?
Quisp asked a question. Has it ever got to you when someone you knew called you an ABB?
No. Like I don't think I've ever felt offended. I feel like my friends are trying to, or like they're brainwashing me to like make it seem like it's a compliment. So just taking it as it is now. Because like in other chats, like even with people I don't talk to often, people are just like, they're like calling me ABB.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what?
That's
like, where's this coming from? And then
that's what she's doing.
Yeah, and then
would you like me to stop?
No. I'm saying it's not even you. Like other people that I haven't like talked to and stuff, and then they would bring it up, and then they would just agree like so like nonchalantly, or it would just be like so supportive of it, and they're like, "Why? What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it." Yeah, so
Mhm.
they're getting that reassurance that it's a positive thing.
Mm. And hmm. Actually, now that I think about it, when did we start coining you as like a joke for like being an ABB Rizzler? When did that start?
Honestly, I don't know, but I feel like it has to do with Chill. I feel like he somehow brought
Oh,
it up.
for sure. Chill is for sure your suspect because he's probably the when I first not when I first met you, but like when was the first? He for sure was the culprit because like we would always meme about him being the ABB king,
Mm-hmm.
Or
and
the mid part,
then
yeah.
yeah, and everything, or like like it's just like
Big tats.
it's probably the tats and everything, and it's just like
Mhm.
the tier list. When we do the tier list, that's like when everyone gets all crazy. Everyone's like, oh, like it's like where are we gonna put everyone? And Wilson's always S tier for some reason, or like yeah, it's just like because like you saw last time when we did our AB tier list for my point of view, dude, he was getting all freaking mad because I was putting people like, there's no way if I'm this person, there's no way I'm an AB, fucking having a little tantrum.
Yeah. I can make the list real quick if I'm being realistic, like completely honest on everything, right? The only
Okay.
people I could think of that would just be on the tier list in general is old school caster.
Caster.
Old school caster.
Also caster.
Lucas, I would put him on. Will, I would put him on, but I wouldn't put him high, realistically. Chill, I would put him on higher than Will. And then Nathaniel, I would probably put him like in between Will and Chill. And then I think that's all I could think of. Yeah, but everyone else I would say no.
Good. I'm glad I'm not on the list.
Okay. Actually, why would Saber not be on the list? I'm kind of curious.
I'm not even.
He's
I literally
like
I
I've
literally
seen
don't
him,
even-
I've seen how he is, and no, like I really don't think that he's not.
I'm just asking because it looked like you wanted to.
The
Just
first
asking.
part of the A doesn't even fit me. Like I don't. even
Yeah,
fit the
exactly.
A part,
That has
bro.
a lot to
I
do
don't
with
fit
it. That
the
has a lot
A
to do with
part,
it.
dude. That's like the biggest thing. Like they're like saying smokes. I'm like the A. Where's the A in there?
But we can.
ABB Leslie.
What is it? MBB? Like MBB? Like
MBB.
Like I'm just thinking of it from an unbiased, as in appearance wise, but then when I see like personality and stuff, or like what I know of, yeah, I'm mixing those together.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't say they're high on the list. I just see like some traits.
Wait, you're forgetting Vinny.
Oh yeah, Vinny.
Yeah, he's on there too.
S tier, right? S tier for sure.
No. Honestly, no. He's not that high. He has a very gentle, fragile heart.
He likes to drop his nuts. Drops his nuts. Remember?
Oh, wait, Wilson.
Yeah.
Despacito, Drew. Would you put him up there or not?
Yeah, I would also put him up there. I'll put him up there. Like again, not like super high, but I see stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
I'm gonna say. What's the one idea that you think that majority of people get wrong?
What's one idea?
Mm-hmm. Like, do you think like there's like something that everyone thinks of, but like it's totally and like it's not even like true at all, but just because people think of it?
Do you have an example of your own?
Like, as in, they think you act a certain way, but like in reality you don't.
Oh,
a
like
misconception about him.
me,
Yeah,
like
or-
me
or just-
personally.
Yes. Like, do you think that like there's an idea or like something that people get wrong when it's like because it's not true at all? But
I don't think anyone gets it wrong. I don't think there's anything specific that people like there'd be a misconception about me, like specifically. I think it's more of like people might not know me as much as they think.
Mm.
Or like I feel like people think they know me more than actually. Does that make sense? Yeah, which
Yeah.
is why there's like this podcast and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like even me like saying all these things I told you guys, like I feel like there's still many like layers that people don't, of course, know. And that it goes for everyone, but then that's just like me specifically for this question.
You're an onion. You just have a lot of layers.
Yeah, just wait until you see the ones that make you cry.
Bro.
Damn, I was kind of scared. Is that when
I'm
Wilson
kidding. It's
changes his
because
hair?
get it, because onions, yeah, cutting onions.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Make you cry.
like I'm not actually gonna make you
Ah.
cry because the hell.
That's when you change your hair color, and then I'm like, oh fuck.
That's when Wilson goes Super Saiyan and evolves into his first form.
That's
nice follow up.
when it goes black for real. When
Oh my
Wilson
God,
goes black hair,
it's over.
It's over. It's over. For
It's
all of us.
over.
That's. I think honestly, that's like he skips Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 right there. AV Super Saiyan 3 right there.
Gonna dye it again. It's okay, guys. Holly will dye it
He's
again.
like, he's gonna be like, I'm never doing black. I'm never gonna color my hair black.
Nathaniel says that you make him cry for putting him so high on
You're
the
not
tier
high on the
list.
list. You're low on the list. You're just one of the few on the list. That's the difference. That misconception, and I'd like to think that from an outside perspective, people think I have my life together, but I feel like I don't. But then I also have that positive or optimistic mindset where it's just like I don't want to feel bad for myself, and I don't want to see the negatives. Like I'm happy, I'm ultimately happy where I'm at, but I feel like I still need to figure things out. So I definitely don't have my life together.
I see.
So this might come off as like a deep question, but how would you prioritize like your life right now? Like family, friends, like work, like personal, etc. Like how would your like life prioritizing for you in your current phase of life be right now?
I feel like everything's been super well balanced. I'd like to say that there's always a constant with some of these things, right? Like family has always been a constant, even though it's not like they're demanding like a lot, but it's like to the core you'll always be there with your family type of thing. With friends, I think it's my choosing to like put more energy towards like my social life, friends, and like social media and all these things. So that's like obviously like a really high priority for me by my choosing. And then there's like work, which is because of like the uncertainty looming in the future. That's gonna be like a huge factor for sure because that constant is no longer gonna be there. So I feel like that's slowly gonna go up.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was never like I think being stable for me is like and comfortable financially is like good. But then if the future job and stuff demands a lot, then I think that's when everything will change. And then also another like constant that's pretty high up there is like a healthy lifestyle. Or like somewhat healthy, because realistically it is healthy, but not healthy that we keep drinking. So yeah, it's
You're not wrong. Drinking on a weekly basis definitely messes you up.
it something, you know, so just gotta be better or not overdo it. But yeah, I've been prioritizing like social life aspects a lot, friends and family. But then for myself, the reason why like I can't say for myself is because I'm still figuring things out. So everything that's just relative to me like makes up who I am in my eyes.
I see.
Yeah.
Don't you have any other questions about you?
I think I have one last question.
What's up?
And I don't even know what the question is, but it's kind of like I'm just gonna describe the situation. So
Huh.
from me, I met you through, a mutual, and I see this huge group. And then even on this stream and even in chat sometimes, I'm obviously a new person. You guys have your big group, you guys know each other. There's names that pop up that I don't recognize. And I'm not sure if there's anyone else in chat that feel this way, but like how would you recommend someone who is maybe perhaps new to a big group how to get involved, be closer as friends? I don't know if that's the question.
No, I understand like what you're talking about. Like exactly to the T. So I do, in my opinion, like I do my part when it comes to that by trying to host like all these different type of events. Like I try to bring people together through like the tournaments, charity streams, podcasts. Podcast is like a great way for me to learn about people and to like create that exposure if you're willing to do it. If not, then there's other outlets, of course. But then for your part, for like newer individuals, it really uh it really depends on your level of effort that you put in to be a part of the community as well, whether if it's to like be in the streams constantly, but then not only speaking to the streamer, like actually to the other chatters, right? And then maybe like even gaming, that's another way, or again taking those opportunities to join like whatever events and stuff out, as long as it's like to your level of comfort. um that's what I like really thought of when I first started, because when I first started I didn't understand the concept of like having communities and stuff. But then I realized that it's again so small and people know each other. A lot of people, like half the people stream, and then I just put in my effort to get close to those that I feel mostly comfortable with. And then like the vibes that like just fit or suited for me. And yeah, like honestly, I think of it as like a spider web type of thing. Like either a Venn diagram or just like a whole web. And I see how everyone's like connected in some like shape or form. And I notice those who aren't as like active or close to anyone. Kind of like the thing where it's just like if you name someone, who's the first like 3 people that pops into your head when you think about them, right? That connection. So I know that, and then I also observe whenever people like become closer, then it just looks like in my head a new string is just being attached, or like web among like 2 individuals, like a group.
Saber.
So yeah, honestly, both parties are gonna have to do their part. Get into the community.
Okay. I have 2 questions, if that is okay.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
kinda-
I
they're
also
kinda in-
don't want to like hold you guys for too long as well. So whenever we feel like, because you guys are the hosts, by the way, so
Oh, true.
yeah, so it's on you guys too. But my
So we
limit
keep it longer?
personally is 11 because I have to be on top of my bedtime. But then, go ahead. For the podcast sake, this is a fun episode, honestly.
Yes. Okay.
Got me sweating.
2 questions. It's not bad questions, but then
Yeah, I don't mind.
what words would you use to describe yourself? And then how would you title this chapter of your life right now?
Oh,
Saberless.
how do I describe myself? Dang, I'm trying to put it in words. I would describe myself, at least like this chapter, of definitely lots of personal growth, but also just while being clouded with so much uncertainty. I feel like I'm limiting myself right now because I don't have a sense of direction of where I want to go. But there's also a part of me that's constantly like trying to push myself beyond those like boundaries that I'm like setting without realizing. Like, I think my life right now has been very consistent, and obviously it's because of like my interests, but I feel like I want to figure out a way to expand that or just like have some new change. So I would honestly call it the chapter of uncertainty and growth. That's how I would label it. I am slowly pushing myself out of my comfort zone, like boundaries. Which is like having a social, like greater social presence, and it's like posting a lot, communicating to a lot more people. Like I'm slowly doing that. But then there's other avenues where I feel like I'm just very stuck. Like such as the job or where I'm leading like all these like social media stuff, like the direction of it. Like for example, the podcast, I want it to be big and I want it to grow, but I don't know how to. Because when you get into content creation, you want to create a niche, but then it also should be something that an outside, like the outsiders would be interested in, right? So like how would strangers on the internet, like what would draw them into wanting to watch this podcast where I'm just interviewing my own friends? Like why do these people matter to them, right? If they're not like big, famous, and have things going on for them, right? So I just need to find that fine line of like constantly doing this while finding a way to like grow, because it could open many opportunities. Like it would definitely help with like financial gain in the future too. Yeah, because if I do a podcast based on like those specific niches, like most people are like what interested in like topics of relationships or like things going on in politics, stuff like that. That's what I've noticed. But to try to expand that and also keep it as like my own type of brand, the brand is like centered around like my friends for sure. So yeah, there's just like a lot that I've been thinking about, but then I feel like I'm not doing enough, and sometimes I want guidance, but I don't know who can guide me in this way. So I have to kind of like learn from a lot of different people, even though we might not be like on the same path.
It's definitely like was of like what I've seen. It's like yes, like of like being your friends, but I think it's like joining from other communities and getting other communities going as well. And not only like through like our social circle or even the same circle that like normally everyone's connected to. It's like going outer to that, like the people that like we normally like don't see, and them like, oh, this person's this, like because like you're like oh, I know this person, and I'm like but like a little bit more now, but it's like I think it's different when you're like, oh, I know nothing about this person. Oh, this is so interesting because I know nothing about this person at all.
Yeah.
But that's all the questions I had for now. Did y'all have any other questions you wanted to ask?
You guys actually like write down like 10 questions or something each, or
I
what was your
did.
mindset?
I copied and pasted it.
You guys typed it out somewhere?
Yeah, I actually have it typed out. Yeah.
It's on my notepad right now.
And you guys asked some of the same questions, right? Or wrote down the same questions?
The only the only main question was the Ray-Ban one. I think that's the only one that everyone that was mine. Because that was supposed to be mine. I was like, that was supposed to be my question for when you asked me. You're like, how many Ray-Bans did you have? And I was like, that's crazy. And you asked me on my pod. Mochi just took it away from me.
Dude, that's so crazy how me, Mochi, and Saber all had like the same looming question about the rape pay. That was the only looming question we all had.
It makes sense though. Like honestly, like I would probably ask myself that question too, especially with the lifestyle I've been living.
I didn't even write that question down. That's my question 10 right there. Like it was just I was like, I was going to guarantee asking that question.
Kevy, thank you for the resub, man. Appreciate you, my guy.
But if anyone doesn't have any more questions, I was gonna say, Wilson, do you have any questions that you want to ask us? Because we're all.
I told Mochi I wouldn't ask her questions, so like I specifically told her that you guys are asking me questions.
Dang it. Okay.
But since me and Saber already did the podcast, if you had any further looming questions you would want to ask either me or Saber, Mochi can be saved for later because she can do a separate podcast. But for me and Saber, at least, since we've already done the podcast.
Not really. I feel like more things have to happen for you guys because I consistently speak to you guys on a daily or weekly basis. So it's like catch up isn't really necessarily needed.
True.
But I do appreciate all the questions you guys asked. It was kind of like a good mix of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing about me having the podcast. It's like you wouldn't really think about certain things unless you're asked. You know, there's like so much more about all of us that we don't know. And it goes both ways. Like Mochi, you're newer to the community and I've seen your growth. I see where you're at right now, like how I'm gauging things and how much like you're putting yourself out there. It was really cool to hear your question about that because I'm like I see your spiderweb connections.
It's been a crazy experience for sure. I don't know what to say to that, but
Did
yeah.
did you like this like 4 people podcast, Wilson, or no? Or like how did you think compared to like just the one-on-one?
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of it. I don't know if I could recycle the specific thing where you guys would be asking me questions, but I'm very open to having more group podcasts. But then what I've learned is because I've done this before, I've had the Triple P podcast, the Positivity Panel Pod, where I invited people and started talking about a lot of different things. This was like a really decent it's like a balanced group. I wanted to test you guys to see how you guys would be as hosts. Because obviously when there's a lot of people on the panel, you notice like some people are more comfortable being outspoken to like chime in and stuff, or maybe some others would be more like lax and laid back and would just like kind of like wait it out. So it's always like interesting for me to learn from you guys, learn about you guys in that
So what did you learn?
Ooh.
I learned that Saber and Cherry, obviously they know me more and they're more comfortable within the community, so they're very more outspoken and they can like they know like they could jump in whenever. I feel like you're more observant right now, or you have been to like learning, but you have like really appropriate timings, of course, like you guys all do, but it just doesn't feel like you would put yourself out there unless it's like a different timing than everyone. Like
Yeah.
how you know what I mean, where
Yeah.
you just want to be respectful. You have that mindset. I have that mindset too. If I
It's
were,
like
when I was invited on other podcasts, that's how I was too.
Would you say that this was a balanced group in your opinion?
I think I wouldn't know if it came down to specific topics of me hosting, but because there was like an order of like you guys asking me questions and stuff, then yes, it was like really fun and balanced.
Good.
like no, because like I know you want to try new things. Like, are you gonna do like are you gonna do a co-host where you have two, where it's just you and another person, and then that's who you interview, so you have like the other person?
That idea has sparked for sure. I just don't know how I want to do it yet, but I have like random ideas. I think I'm stuck between wanting direction from other people, also implementing my own like thoughts and stuff. Like I would love to have like group podcasts and more people to help me and like come up with ideas. Like have like a whole unit and process of doing this, right? To make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I just need a jump start right now.
Mm.
How was this experience for you guys though? Because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen you guys do things like this. Maybe Cherry has, like when she would talk to other people in Discord on stream, but I don't know about you two.
I felt when I first heard about the idea in chat, I was like super down, super excited, and I thought about questions about raves and like the rave bait question, like that popped up.
Yeah.
And then I think an hour before this started, I started to get nervous.
Mm.
I was like, oh my god, I'm blanking out.
Uh-huh.
But then the fact that I met at least, you guys once,
Yeah.
I felt like more comfortable. I've also watched your streams, so
Mhm.
I kind of knew the community. So it wasn't bad, and I also felt comfort. I actually reread your message in the group chat of
Yeah.
just like, how like a reminder of like this is just a fun time, and that like made me feel more secure. Like
Mhm.
this is a chill time, there's no pressure, and if I didn't have questions, I could rely on the other two hosts to ask the questions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was nice.
For me, like, it was easy. It was like pretty easy, just because I think because I did the first one. It was when I first did when we did our podcast, I was hella nervous. I was like, fuck. I was like, what do I say? And then, but like, I think the fact that like since I already did it, and it's just a casual thing, like we were gonna joke around. I knew we were gonna joke around. I knew we were gonna talk about. I knew we were gonna talk about fucking raves and stuff. Like it was like topics that were all like at least have like a little touch on. It's like pretty easy. And then like I think the goal was for me. It was just like, how are we going to implement getting everyone to say something? That was like my only thing was like, I'm like, okay, let's see how it is. Because like I know we started off with like, I noticed we started off with like 2 questions, and then like we started being like, oh, do you have any questions or anything like that? Like that was probably like my only goal, is because like I didn't want like to talk over anyone, or like anyone to talk over anyone. So like yeah, so like, I think it went well, and like it was fun. I enjoyed putting you on the hot seat.
Nah, for real. Because when I'm like invited to other people's like streams and stuff, there's always gonna be that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to ever like overstep, and I just want to like be respectful, wait my turn type of thing, especially when it comes to like this style, like a podcast type of thing. But moving forward, like if I were to have like you guys and just anyone, I want that level of comfort to just like be greater, like in the future, to the point where we could just literally talk over each other, but of course like respectfully, but let things flow, where you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm gonna like just sit back and just like wait my turn and stuff, like just be comfortable to talk as if we're friends in person, like outside, out and about. That will definitely take time, and I just want to give like that invitation to be able to do that, which is why I feel like it was easier and better for you guys to technically be like the ones controlling the conversation, the flow of things. Like I definitely saw the direction and how it works, and that you guys were just like very level headed and to like understand that.
Yeah, I was like, it just depends like who I'm with, like because like of course like I'm not very close to Mochi or Cherry, so like like it's a little bit different. So like it'd be totally different like if it was like like Nathaniel or Will and anything, and we're just like literally like all just saying like some stupid crap, because like, but it's honestly just because like I want to be respectful and anything, because like I don't want to go over anyone, and like I want at least everyone to like say their questions or anything. And everything, and just not like be like overly just like inputted in that. So yeah.
Okay, from this like experience, I do want to ask you guys about this like whole experience, of course. If there were to be like a group podcast segment and stuff, like do you feel like there should be a limitation of how many people there are, or what are your thoughts about that?
Yes, I think there should be a limitation, only because with just the four of us talking, I felt like it was the right amount of like the questions being asked and everyone getting around to ask their questions. But I feel like if there's more than four, it starts to feel like there might be more and more people saying less things.
Okay,
Mhm.
no, that's true.
Yeah, I agree on that. Just because like if you'll have certain personalities that clash, and those personalities will go over the other persons that are like you have the over like the people that talk a lot or everything, and like if you have two people that talk a lot, then those people clash, and then they're kind of taking over the stream, and then the people that are very quiet won't really say anything. So like if like it just depends on like what kind of style you're trying to do. Like I think four is perfect, or even like
Mm.
three too. Three sounds cool too. But like if we're doing like a different type of thing, like it's totally different from like how much like a dating like one dating show does, because like dating shows like you can go like 7 or 6, and you like not including, or like 8 when like not including yourself, and then the bachelor. So like like that's just like a different setting of like how like it is and everything. But yeah, I think 4 would be probably the best, and then like 3 would be cool too. I think 3 is like really good because like especially like if the other two people are like like they're like going off of each other really well and easily, like I think
Mm.
that's like they're just like perfect. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then again, since I know it's Cherry and Saber a lot, for Mochi, um, I'm curious to know like how open have you been on like about yourself on stream and like the internet so far? Like, are you more, would you say, private?
I would say private. I think I heard a lot of horror stories.
Yeah.
Um, and people telling me to protect my privacy.
Mm.
I don't want stalkers,
Oh,
please.
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Like it is very scary out there, and I also came into, Twitch community not knowing anything.
Yes.
Like I didn't
Cold
understand
turkey.
what a mod did. I still like I don't really understand fully how big the community is, and for me to just learn more and more things, I'm starting to see, okay, this is what I need to be careful of. This is okay. So I'm slowly breaking the wall, but like still being very cautious about my personal private life.
Okay. No, that's understandable because everyone has that like journey, especially when they're streaming. But like I'm kind of navigating where my headspace was at, like from when you started, right? Like comparing it to myself, that level of comfort. Like since
Yeah.
I've been in it for a while, I understand how things like work and stuff. I see that you're learning.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like podcasts though, would you be interested in doing stuff of like a group type of thing? Like
Like you interviewing like 3 others.
not I wouldn't call it an interview, but it would literally be a podcast style.
Podcast.
This is like
Sorry.
no, you're good, you're good. Like this is the idea that I have because I've seen like other podcasts and stuff. It's like imagine instead of you guys interviewing me, all 4 of us come up with our own questions like that everyone's gonna like cover, right? Just to get
But
like our different ideas and stuff.
so everyone learns about each other.
Yeah, just to hear each other's perspectives and stuff. So it's not directed at any of us specifically, but we would all just like talk on it. Because that's what I was thinking. Like for future episodes, if I were to do group things, it's kind of like, oh, we all come up with our own questions, and then we'll have like a set time limit and stuff, of course, for the pod. Um, but yeah, it could be like it could range from whatever topics, like what you guys brought up. But I just want to see like if you would be interested in that, and we would learn about each other's like limitations, of course, like when it comes to privacy.
Dang.
Mm.
I think my first thought on that was, I actually, if you do exclamation point, wait, what is it? The survey?
Sign up?
Is that right? sign up. So I actually clicked on it. I looked through the list of categories of things that I would try to like see if I was comfortable talking about. And I couldn't see myself talking about a lot of those things. So I stayed away from signing up, and I was like, maybe I'll wait and see until what kind of topics I'm more comfortable with. So I think with that idea, I would probably wait and see unless I saw the topics beforehand. I'm not really sure. I
Oh,
can't
okay,
make a
okay.
decision here.
See, I see. So like, even if you were to be on like a podcast to do that, the questions you bring up is like questions you would answer. Like you would be comfortable with your own questions, of course, but then you would have to know what everyone is bringing to the table, like beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the
I want to like
topics.
sit there and then someone asks me a question and I'm like, I'm not comfortable talking. And then I feel like that would make the vibe really awkward.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like other podcasts where, like, for example, they talk about relationships, but some are more like they could go deep into like the specifics, right? Like rated R and stuff, and then notice that some of them aren't as comfortable, so they don't have much to like say. And then their co-host would be like, "Oh no, it's okay. Like you don't have to say anything, blah blah blah, like that." So it's kind of like you understand everyone's like boundaries. Okay, but like I just wanted to see where your headspace was at. That's cool. That's cool. Are you like comfortable with the community so far, from what you've seen?
Like your community, or just
I wouldn't
the
call it
Twitch
mine, but like what you've seen. Yeah, the people within my streams.
Your streams.
Your community.
Your community, then I've seen a lot of people. Some are closer to you, some are not. I've seen weird people.
Oh shit.
Okay. I've seen weird people. But I think when I think of your community, I think of the consistent mods.
Yeah.
I think of just like how your entire chat is just modded people, and there's like me, and I'm like,
No sword.
No, that's
sword.
the thing.
Where's my sword?
The mod wall is like it definitely intimidates people. I understand.
Not the new sword.
Not that I'm asking for a sword.
No,
but
I know,
like,
I understand.
that's my observation. And then I think a lot of like new people that come by don't stay for long.
Yeah.
So it's just has been the core group, and I've noticed like it's the people you rave with and the stories you talk about are very like friend centric. So like if I don't know who you're talking about, then I'm like, I don't know what the story kind of is. It's chill.
Nice. That's that perception is definitely what I've thought about, like, as I've continued streaming during the journey. It's gotten to the point where, especially because I went back to work, I haven't put in enough time and effort to be in other people's communities to find that opening to make new friends, like welcome new people to the community and stuff. Because honestly, you do have to like go out of your way to try to like meet people.
You haven't seen Wilson, yeah, and other streams. I remember those days.
Yeah, when I was in other streams, but not anymore.
Nah, I remember those days. You're like, I had you on my side, and then you're like, they were just still here. And I was like, oh my god. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I was like, there's no way this guy found me.
Yeah. So, okay. Before I let you guys go and end the segment, at least, especially for the YouTube portion, what do you guys like? Actually, have any advice or like ideas that you could give me to jot down for like future podcast stuff? Like, especially if it's group ones, or maybe even the solo ones that from what you guys have seen. I'd love any type of feedback so I could always better it.
like a huge idea that, or I think an idea that you could do for just like a podcast topic, not like for like a person specifically, but just like life stages, like general of like what's it like to be like a young adult outside of college and how are you navigating that, or what was it like for each of us, like for our experiences in college, like what's it like, and or like even like we're in this phase of like, or like what high school was like, middle school was like, etc. Just like trying to figure out like how to like navigate what life is for
Okay,
people, and
that's
just
more so like topics.
hmm
Okay, I understand that. How
yeah, just
about
a
like the
topic.
format and just like the structure of things?
Format wise, like I think this is good. Just like not have like, it was nice having Mochi and Saber like help like hosting along, just like no silent gaps. I don't know how these two felt, but I enjoyed hosting with them. But yeah, that's the
It's
like, I like
nice.
this format.
It's nice to have a lot of faces, like for me too.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys? Yeah, you guys have any thoughts? Like what I
You
could
should
add?
have clickbaitable titles. Um,
Click
I don't know.
down.
Click.
I could do that
Like,
for
you
YouTube for sure.
gaslight. Use your gaslighting skills to gaslight. people. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Said backshots. I say. I
Okay.
say backshots.
Okay.
Be like shirtless Wilson.
Like
Okay,
bait
no,
stuff.
no.
Okay.
No,
No,
just
like,
kidding. I'm
so
just
for
kidding.
example, for this podcast, I think a good topic was like rave bays or something. Like I felt like that if we were going to discuss rave bays, then that should have been like perhaps in the promotional stuff. But also again, the format for this podcast was kind of free for all,
Yeah.
which kind of surprised me at first. When I asked you, do we send you the questions? Like, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, like, am I gonna be talking with the other, host to discuss the format? And like, I thought there was going to be some sort of like layout,
Yeah. Structure to it.
structure. I don't think there's cons to having structure or not having structure, but I think it'd be something interesting to play around with moving forward, and maybe having some sort of like topic as like a promotional topic.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
No, that's true. Like for before the streams, I get that. Because my idea was definitely because this was specifically catered to like an interview, it would be more surprising for learn about it on the spot. I mean, you guys are also open to like communicate within the chat, but I don't know what surprising. That's good to know.
Um, I don't know. I feel like for some reason I want to see you have like either a random co-host every once in a while, or like just like have it just like it changes up a little bit, and just like it's like two of you bouncing off and like having that, because like I'm not saying like there's nothing wrong with just having only Wilson. It's just like that, like having another person like changes that a lot, especially like if like their personalities like counter, like either just very different from yours, or either just like it's just like I don't know, or just like you guys are both like the same and you guys are like able to jump off of that stuff. Like you're the serious bad cop, and then like you got the cool cop. Taking that one away.
Oh, that's so tough. Like I've thought about that, like having a potential co-host and stuff, but then for now I'm just gonna invite like a lot of different people, different groups, and try to see like how that goes.
But that's the thing, is like I was saying, like you don't have to make it where like the co-host is every single time. It can be
Yeah.
a different co-host. That's the difference. Is like like I know like it'd be a lot harder if it was just like the same co-host. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the fact that like I think it being different every time or every once in a while, it would kind of change it, just because like you'll have a different perspective every time, or like if you like a certain co-host, and you just bring them back because like the way they like the demeanor and everything, are like just like kind of like brought up a lot of things that were like really nice and everything.
Okay. Okay, sick. No, I appreciate that. The feedback from all of you guys. Okay. And since this was specifically you guys interviewing me, what is like has your perception changed, or what's like the biggest like I guess something that you've learned about me that you probably wouldn't have expected? Is there anything for you guys?
I I thought it was very surprising. The most shocking fact was like when you said the girls had to do 100% of the work for you to feel. Yeah, I think that was really shocking.
Okay.
But that doesn't change my perception of you. I think it was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like that's
Yeah.
who Wilson is in that context. But I think everything else checks out. And I also think the background, like your ethnicity and like the fact that you moved to Florida, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And like I don't know, I just learned more about you. I don't think it changed my
Yeah.
perception
Okay.
of you. Yeah.
And for you two, since y'all talk a lot.
I'll let Saber go first.
Huh? I was just surprised that I wasn't there to be with your first potential. Dude, I was like, what the fuck? Dude, I was like, dude, I wasn't there. I was like, dude, I was never there for it, bro. I was like, and the fact that you don't want me being there says it a lot as
Well,
well.
it's not that I don't want you to be there. You just weren't there.
No, but you would have done the same thing. You've been like, don't say anything.
Yeah. I definitely would have. I needed to like let that. I needed months to go by before being able to say that shit.
Well, I was surprised I even heard it. I wasn't expecting it. But we can always run it back to time whenever you want to
Okay,
go back
buddy.
to time. But yeah, I mean, I didn't change anything. You're seeing.
Cool.
I'm like you're. I understand like most of the things like when you're talking about it because like I'm like either like similar or like I understand like why you do it or what's like the reason just because it's just that's just that it's similar either thinking or just like understanding of like why and everything. So yeah, I mean, you're still my ABB Wilson, but he's still maybe evolved to Super Saiyan Wilson. ABB Wilson.
Super Saiyan.
Okay.
I think for me, my perception of you hasn't changed. You're still the close friend Wilson that I appreciate and care for. I think I learned a lot about you though. Like I didn't know you had part-time lovers. I
For real, dude.
didn't know.
And the fact that you were at that rave and you still didn't know, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even know. He was on the other side.
Okay, let's not. Yeah. Anyways,
but,
okay.
But I think that was like the most surprising part that you had part-time lovers for me. I didn't know that. I know you don't go out looking for rave bays, but like part-time lovers was interesting. I think the biggest thing that I learned about you was the stage of life that you're currently in and like how you would title your current chapter. That gave me a little bit of insight on like who you are as a person, and I really appreciated that.
Awesome.
But just so you know, I do give you some credit for this. I give you credit.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
The beast said
just
beast.
Work my magic.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met said beast. Honestly, he's actually in the room right now, but I do give him some credit, honestly, because I wouldn't have
gone to that show.
I wouldn't have gone to that show if it wasn't for Wilson. So technically, W wingman for my current relationship. So
he's one for 10.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay, whatever.
Yeah, if it wasn't, but seriously, if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't have gone to Side Piece, and I wouldn't have met this guy. I'm being seriously honest.
Yeah, I would
All
have got Side Piece.
right. There you go. Now you just know to go to events with me, guys. That was like the biggest learning lesson out of this whole podcast. Like you guys got baited.
Do not let him gaslight you. Do not let him gaslight you to go to an event. Do not let him do that. You know, he'll try and do it for like a month, you know, but eventually you guys can proceed.
You just give in and then you just
But-
let me win.
Mochi,
You
please
know-
don't let him gaslight you. Don't let him.
But
I
you know
I
what the-
can't.
He
Yeah.
can't
Okay.
win.
Okay,
There's
here's
no
the
He
fun-
tried. He
competition.
tried.
I didn't try, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't actually try to gaslight her to go.
Okay, but here's the funny thing is that I was the one that sent in one of our group chats the poster of Side Piece, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want to go to this." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Let's go to this," and I'm like, "Okay."
You know, just the spontaneous side of me. Okay, it's okay. All right, we'll wrap this up. For this episode, can you guys please give your outros and then I'll sign us out.
Who would like to do the outro first?
Go, Cherry, go. Outro.
Me? Outro? Okay. Thank you, Mochi and Saber, for being the best hosts that I could ask for. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you, Wilson, for being willing to be in the hot seat and taking all of our questions. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed being on the other side of the interview chair. And looking forward to your next podcast as well as the next podcast you might be hosting, whatever is going on. Tossing it to Mochi.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cherry, Saber, Wilson, for making my first appearance on anyone else's stream super comfortable. This has been really exciting, and it's been a good time. All great vibes, positivity. Yes. See you in the next podcast, everyone. Go Saber.
Yeah.
Go Saber.
You know, say the best for last.
Yeah, I'm after you.
You know, I said best.
Just
I
kidding.
said best.
Yes.
You know, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. It was very fun. You know, we were able to bounce off each other. It wasn't just, you know, like just crickets. It was all fun. Thank you, Wilson, for bringing me in. It's always fun to being here. You know, and you guys will see Wilson with his rape at EDC, guys. Just letting y'all know.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
You see him, wingman him, please let me know. Call me. I will
Dude,
go after him.
Okay. As Wilson says with his wingmanning, just point.
No,
Nah, you
he'll
can't.
never point. That's
Yeah, you
he
can't
will
take
never
my
point.
line. That's my
He-
line. Come on.
he
The
might
original
say-
here.
No. He might say he'll point, but he's never pointed. He only pointed
That-
to me one time, and it was when we were leaving.
That was before that was a thing, though. Okay.
That's true. Anyways, but yeah.
But-
Anyways,
Dude,
we'll save those future for future conversations because there's a lot that happens in our lives here. But this has been the Chat with Wilson special interview segment. 3-on-1. Homies interviewed me this time around. We're gonna go back to the regular format on Wednesday. But this is episode 16. Huge shout outs to all of you guys. Make sure to follow them. !guests. Thank you guys for being here, the live audience on the right side of the screen. And if you guys are watching at home, on YouTube, wherever on your mobile device, please do like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And tune in for the next one, alright? There's also !schedule, guys. I'm going to be on top of that. But I hope you guys really did get to learn more about me. I also, again, learned more about myself. So, yeah, stay positive as what Mochi said, and we'll see you next time. Peace!